We are in the flight pattern for LAX. You're going to hear and see airplanes tonight. We're also going to see an outstanding high school football game. Inglewood hosting Culver City, a huge game in the Bay League. Playoff implications. Both teams are 4-5, but don't be deceived by the records. They have a lot of talent. Should be a lot of fun on another gorgeous night in Southern California. But what else is new? Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This should be a lot of fun because we're looking at equality. Two teams that are basically even. Certainly, Inglewood might be perceived as the favorite because they're playing at home, but there's a lot of pressure on them to win and get in the playoffs. The loser has no guarantee they're going to get a playoff berth. It's Culver City, it's Inglewood. Should be a good game. And we bring in Chuck Price once again. Chuck, it's always fun when there's a lot at stake late in the year.
Well, there's a lot at stake in this game, and you got two great teams that are playing in a crazy tough Bay League. Third and fourth place in this league are two teams that can go far in the playoffs.
I love this because we have two players that we're going to feature tonight. Both have the last name. It's identical. They're both named Wilson. We'll start with Langston Wilson. He's a running back, but he does everything for Culver City.
He's a really multi-talented, gifted athlete. He's a sprinter on the track team. His presence was really needed this year to replace Seth Shigg, who was an all-CIF quarterback last year, who ran and threw really well.
The other Wilson is Alan Wilson. He's a wide receiver, but like Langston, he'll be all over the field.
Yeah, leave it to Milvon James, the head coach at Englewood, to find great talent. He really has owned the city for a long time, city of LA, city of Englewood. If there's talent, Milvon will find it. He's a great coach, and this is a great player.
There are D1 athletes here tonight. We'll showcase those throughout the game. Culver City, the Centaurs, against the Sentinels of Inglewood. A huge one in the Bay League. The kickoff is coming up next. Tonight's prep game of the week on LA36 is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. It's Red West Pizza. By Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. And by our good friends at SOS Water Heater, the water heater experts.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Happy Halloween. We're about ready to kick it off here at a beautiful Coleman Stadium, Municipal Stadium in the Inglewood area, about a mile from campus for Inglewood. And Inglewood will be receiving the opening kickoff. Daniel Perez, the senior, will advance on the ball. Now this Bay League football game is about to commence. Toe hits leather, short kick, and we're underway. Taken by one of the upbacks, and down the sideline goes Brandon Crawford, a wide receiver. There's Crawford. Good field position for the Sentinels to begin.
Coming off last night's game with about 121 kickoffs, this was a great way to start the game, and guess where they're at? The 45.
Got some tremendous talent here. We saw great talent last night when there was 125 points put up. That was a fun game to do with Mission Viejo outscoring Los Alamitos. Here are the Sentinels' key guys. Samaje Welch won't start tonight. He's over 1,000 yards. He may not play. He's their best running back, but he's dinged up, and they kind of want to hold him out for the playoffs. But if this game is tight, we'll see Welch. First down at the 45. The quarterback is Lincoln John, number 11. Hitting 59% of his aerials this season. It is senior night, and John is but a sophomore. Handoff, good running room, and a terrific start for the Sentinels.
First and 10, Sentinels.
Looks like number 8, Austin Tillman. If for a kid who hadn't seen a lot of starting time, he's explosive.
It is Tillman. He's the backup running back. He averages 5 yards a carry, but he got a first down there, and Tillman was shot out of the cannon.
Number 8, Tillman. Draws back the pass.
There's an open receiver. Nickerson along the sideline, number 1. They expect him to have a huge game. Tight end, defensive end. He's a commit to SMU.
Tempo again.
Inside the 30, and a positive start for the Sentinels. And again, they'll go with that running back, that scat back, Austin Tillman. And able to turn the corner. Hard to read that 8. That's why I kind of hesitated on the first call. It's kind of blurry, isn't it? But it is number 8.
And he's blurry when he runs, 5'8", 155. He's a smaller sized running back, but tremendous quick feet. Nice burst.
First down to the 16, and they're moving the ball easily on this Culver City defense. We're picking up right where we left off last night in that high-scoring affair with Mission Viejo and Los Alamitos. Randy Roosevelt and Chuck Price on a lovely night in Inglewood, California. And again, they'll run right up the middle. And again, it's Tillman. Down to the 15. Only a pickup of 1 there. Underneath the pile, making the stop, is Kim Analoa. And he is a sterling defensive player.
He's a two-way star for Culver City, and he's only a junior. He's the force on both sides of the ball for them.
13 tackles for loss this year and 4 sacks for Kim. A steady diet of Tillman. Picks up about 3 in the grasp of Damarian Boyd, the linebacker. Number 13, there he is. Boyd's a hard hitter.
So far, a real nice job by the Englewood offensive line. They're big. They shield the runner. Their get off is not bad for a bunch of big kids.
Third down and 4. Tillman again up the middle. Kind of a conservative approach, but they have had success on the ground. Tillman has stood up. In the middle, once again, greeting him was Boyd. Boyd had assistance as well from that man again, Kim Anauloa. Fourth down. I think they're going to go for it here, Chuck. No reason to bring the kicker in. They've had success moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, Milvan's not a real conservative coach. I don't see there being a chance they'd kick a field goal in this situation, really at any point in the game.
Milvan James, the head coach in his 6th year. And it's Tillman again right up the middle. He's inside the 5 and down to the 1. First and goal, Inglewood. Dropped. Underneath the pile was Jordan Njoku. And Tillman with a terrific start running the football for Inglewood.
And I didn't see number 73 listed on the roster for Inglewood, but that was one pancake block to begin with. Great job opening up that hole by putting, really put their best defensive back, or best defensive lineman, Anu Aloa, on his back.
First and goal, Inglewood. Looking to draw first blood. Nickerson right up the middle. There's a flag down. He's in the end zone. Let's see if this touchdown stands as Nickerson easily got through that little crease in the middle, but I think this one's going to be called back.
Formation on the offense. 5 feet skill.
Well, it remains first and goal, but the chore got a little bit more difficult.
It's a lot easier to get there from 5 inches out than it is 5 yards and a half an inch. But they got the wide side of the field to work with. They've got man coverage. They've got an unbelievable receiving core, and their receiver doesn't even come into the huddle. This will be a hand sign on a quick slant.
So you're looking for Lincoln John to go up top, number 11. And he's hit 59% of his passes, better than 2,200 yards. Trips to the left for John. They love his composure in the pocket. And there's the handoff and a stone wall. Kim was there again. And he was not alone. Great assistance from Derek Clark-Saya.
I was a bit surprised with that man coverage in a loaded box that they would try and run at him. They had to hold right there and didn't get called, and still for a 3-yard loss. I'd be surprised if they didn't put the ball in the air to the wide side this time.
Welcome our friends on NFHS to the telecast tonight. A timeout taken by Inglewood. They made it look easy coming right down the field, but once they've got inside the red zone, that Culver City defense, it's a little bit more stifling.
I think they got the look that they wanted, and because it's early in the 4-down territory, they lined up in first down. They conservatively ran the ball, but I think Culver City tipped their hand as to how they'll guard them down there, how they'll defend them, and if they're going to go zero coverage, which you should do on the goal line, it's going to be advantage Englewood.
The Bay League is led by Lusinger. They're 5-0, 8-1 overall, top 10 team in Southern California. Palos Verdes, who we saw earlier this season, knock off Lawndale. Palos Verdes is second, 3-1. Inglewood's 2-2. Maricosta's 2-2. This Culver City team is 1-3, and Lawndale's 0-5. Now, if Culver City wins tonight, obviously they'd have the tiebreaker on Inglewood. They have the same record in the league. That's why there's so much at stake. Bay League is a terrific, terrific conference.
From top to bottom, it really is. We saw Lawndale, and they're definitely going to come up over the next few years.
Alan Wilson in the backfield. Here's Nickerson coming around. It's a walk-in touchdown for Andre Nickerson.
That's one way to beat man coverage, because nobody's going to run across the backfield to guard him. Got a good seal block at the top of the set, and it was game over.
Here's the
Great
SMU commit. Angular body, 6'4", nearly 240 pounds, and this was really well executed.
It was a great call. The fact that they're in man coverage, really the only person that's going to tackle him when there's 7 guys in the box would be the guy covering him, who didn't chase him across the backfield. That's not his job.
Signals for the extra point.
And the PAT is added. 7-0.
Randy, tonight I wanted to make special note to bring up the name early of the gentleman who sponsored this unbelievable football package, Brett Stye, who said, you know what, I want to do great things for the kids in the city of LA. And as you see the touchdown, he's able to put plays like this, environments like this, and 100 high school football kids and their families in a position where they've got the keepsake of saying, I played on TV and I've got the digital proof of it. For whatever reason, the LA City schools didn't want the gift. This is a gift to Englewood, and it's a gift to Culver City. And Brett Stye, thanks for wrapping it up so nicely. Able to showcase a coach like Milvon James, who built an unbelievable program at Hawkins High School, and people around it didn't like the success. And I'm not sure what the problem was, that a school from the inner city had great success. He got great players, but so do all the teams from around the Southern California area. So I'm glad to see Milvon end up at Englewood. What he's done here in a short period of time is just the beginning. This is a program that's a force to be reckoned with.
Anxious to see the Culver City offense for the first time tonight. Short kick, and it's scooped up. And with it is Wazo, and they are on him in a hurry. No chance for Derek Wazo. That's tremendous coverage. Getting down the field was Jameer Belote, number 20.
This will be my first time this year really taking a look at the quarterback from Culver City, Nicholas Hong, really replacing what I thought was one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the southern section last year, because he was a little bit on the shorter side. But Seth Shigg got a full ride to West Point
They're the key players. You're going to like Nicholas Hong, this quarterback. He's a lefty, and he is precise throwing the football. Of course, we mentioned Langston Wilson on the pregame. He can get it done. Hong to the air. Caught. Bringing it in was Moore. Harley Moore. There's Harley.
Hong was number 2 last year on the depth chart behind Shig. Patiently waited. He was a quality quarterback last year. The speed of Shig just separated the two. And in the open field, he carried the ball like a running back.
Harley Moore's got size at the wide receiver position. He's their top wideout. He's 6'2" and 165 pounds. That was his 26th catch of the year. Second down and a short 5, and this is Langston Wilson. And there are 3 of the black shirts over there to get him. Leading the charge was Robert Nobles, the middle linebacker.
And you know, I love talking about quarterbacks, and Nicholas Hong is a kid who came into the program with a ton of composure. He had all the leadership skills, and the transfer portal in high school had him sit one more year than he probably should have.
Look at Irock Cordova, who's also in on that tackle. Irock is on his way to Harvard. Excellent student athlete. Hong again to the air. That one's picked off. The interception. And it's being brought back. Wesley down the sideline. Wesley is in. Touchdown for Chase Wesley, the senior, on senior night.
Yeah, it's coming back. It was a real unnecessary roughing the passer. It was a shove in the back, but it was a hard shove. It wasn't called for, and I know Milvon James, coach at Englewood, won't put up with that.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
And a huge break for Jamal Wright's team. Jamal's in his 17th year. Played at Culver City back in the mid-90s. Former cornerback who went on to play at Kansas University. And it looked like it was going to be 14-0 early. Tremendous return for the score, but unfortunately for Inglewood, the roughing the passer, and what a break for the Centaurs.
And just before the roughing the passer, in my mind, the one thing I thought about was, wow, look at the defensive line from Inglewood. Look at the 3 or 4 guys get instant pressure. And as you can see, they get in there, and no reason for that.
Ball was intended for Harley Moore. And, well, you know that Chase Wesley was living the dream on that play on senior night, but unfortunately it's taken away. There's Langston Wilson again. They will try to get him the ball in any fashion they can. Pass to the side, and that's Moore again. The Sentinels are riled up on defense. They're running to the football.
They fly to the flat. If that ball doesn't get a little bit more sizzle on it when they throw it to the wide side or outside of the boundary, I don't want to be the negative thought person this early in the game, but we saw it last night. You're going to jump that route and get a pick 6 if you float that ball. I think Hong needs to put that ball on a line and get it out quicker.
That one lost a couple yards. Second down and long. Centaurs behind the chains.
And Hong understands this offense. He's a great leader. He knows what he's saying. He's going to make the great pre-snap read.
Draws back to pass.
And there's that pass. He has Forte. Forte inside the 40-yard line with a first down. William Forte, the senior wide receiver. 27th catch of the season for Forte. And that's a nice answer by Culver City coming back down the field, Chuck.
Beautiful play action, kind of off the RPO, freezes everybody just a bit, but Hong sees it before the snap, and that's what experience does.
Take advantage of the break, getting that possession back after what looked to be an interception for a touchdown. Had the roughing the penalty, roughing the passer penalty, and the drive continues, and Culver City's in striking range. Mouton with the stop. Cleavon Mouton.
That might have been a makeup for his roughing the passer, and I believe he's got a lot more sacks in him. Not a lot of high school quarterbacks are going to run away from him. He's an athlete and a half.
Yeah, Mouton's got a wonderful motor. 5.5 minutes remaining. Opening quarter, 7-0 Inglewood. But the Centaurs are to the 35, and they're thinking about a tying touchdown. Inglewood with another timeout. Want to get that defense rested.
Timeout on Inglewood.
I don't know about rested as much as I want to probably get them calmed down a little bit. They're senior night. They're over anxious. They're not making any mistakes. They play like you want high school kids to play, with a lot of energy, and you take it down a notch and play your game. That's a pretty darn good football team over there.
Nicholas Hong, that Southpaw quarterback, number 3 there, in the middle of that discussion with the coach. It's fun to watch these Southpaws. Isn't it amazing, Chuck, that lefties always seem to be precise throwers in the football? So accurate.
Better than righties.
Why is that?
Because they're throwing with the wrong hand from the day they were born, so they work so much harder at it. Randy, I don't know, but that's a great topic for the off season.
It is.
Speaking of off season, these guys are going to come up with a big effort tonight to make sure it's in front of them.
Again, a little over anxious on the defensive side. It's going to cost Englewood 5.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still, second down.
Again, Hong is accurate, throwing the football, very intelligent QB.
Watched him throw last year in spring ball and was really amazed at how gifted he was, that they had 2 quarterbacks as good as any kids on the field in what was a really big-time passing tournament. I was excited to see him tonight.
Draws back to pass.
Protected well. That one's a little too tall. Had his target available. That was Joel LaFoe, sophomore wide receiver. He's their big target. Sound hands, but that one was just too high.
Yeah, he's throwing over some really active linebackers, including, Robert Nobles, number 22, who's only a junior. He's all over the field. He plays a little nickel back, but looks like he's always lined up in the middle.
3rd and 5. Huezo in motion. Here's the throw. Caught by Forte, and Forte should have a first down, and does. And they move the sticks.
That hit was made by Noah Clark, and that's a 172-pound junior who hit like he's a 225-pound senior. Comes up and really lays the wood right there. No pun intended.
Yeah, but I got to say this. That was a well-diagrammed play. It beat the defense, and now they're in the red zone. First down, Culver City. Hong again looking to throw, and he has some room to operate, but that hole closes in a hurry. Busting through was Miles Smith, number 54, a game wrecker, and he wrecked up the play.
And he's only a junior, and those young guys get in that backfield and they can run. You're not running away from him, and he's not a small kid.
Yeah, Miles is 6'3" and 287 pounds.
And he moves like a skill.
You're right. 2nd and 15.
That's a mighty formidable D-line, such an athletic group. And they're not small.
Long looking to the sideline. Coach is Jamal Wright again in his 17th year. It's a well-coached football team. And this time they may have taken too much time.
Prior to the snap, 5-yard offense, false start, 5-yard penalty.
Still second down.
They look confused there on that play.
Inglewood or Culver? They both look confused.
Our game officials, Dwayne Harris. Good to see Dwayne again. He's been around for a long time in the southern section.
The defensive front for Englewood was bouncing around, and I think that really had Hong thinking about maybe audibleizing. There's a lot of movement on the defensive side, and I think one of the receivers just couldn't hold his position long enough.
2nd down and 20. Let's see what the Centaurs show on offense. In the slot. This one is caught. This is going to be a touchdown for Moore. Harley Moore, his 5th touchdown of the year.
What a great answer by Culver City. Really took advantage of the holes that were in the secondary. And you like the lefty, and I like him too. It's going to force these DBs to really play.
Took advantage of the penalty, the roughing the passer. This should have been 14-0. Instead, we're looking at 7-7 if the PAT is successful.
We talk about the mistakes, and the mistakes are turnovers and penalties that negate interceptions. And
Daniel Perez to tie the game. And he splits the uprights, and we're even at 7 apiece with 4:20 left in the opening quarter.
Here's another look at the touchdown, and Hong really just put the ball right where it needs to be. And what a great spin move there. And the safety came up, dropped his head, and just missed on the tackle. You don't want to call guys out by name, and we won't do it. That was a young sophomore on that play, and he'll learn from it, and he'll be taught by what's a pretty formidable coaching staff. And actually, both schools here are dynamically coached. Public schools, great football programs, great leadership. And we're here tonight because Brett Stye said, let's focus in on showing city kids and what they're capable of doing. And this isn't an LA City school as we look at the coaching staff at Inglewood, but these kids live next door to the LA City kids. It's a mile down the road from Crenshaw. It's another mile away from Westchester. And on the southeast side, you've got Fremont. This is great.
That's where Milvon went to high school. He went to Fremont, Milvon James.
How do I not shout out Pete Duffy, his coach at Fremont? He also played with Mark Bradford and Thomas Herring, one of the better Fremont teams in the history of Fremont.
Perez with that low kick to the ground. This one obviously is returnable and out to the 35-yard line.
1st and 10, Englewood.
Noah Clark with the return, number 6.
Might have been Tillman, number 8.
You can't tell the difference with the numbers. It was 6 and 8. But there's 6 trotting off, so I thought it was.
I couldn't even see
6.
if you held up 6 fingers, so these jerseys aren't helping me at all. And as great as they must look down on the field, Milvon, I can't see. We need a better number setup. Now, it's a great-looking jersey, but.
Well, they're at the 35-yard line, are the Sentinels. 7-7 draw. Very entertaining opening quarter.
Hands the ball off.
There's tremendous defense. You're looking at a big-time player in Jordan Njoku, the middle linebacker, number 10, coming in and blowing up the play.
A senior middle linebacker who plays like that is really pivotable, but the word is pivotal in what would be a defense that needs to really be able to zero in on that zone read offense.
Here we go.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Quick pass, Nickerson. Nickerson again has room. He's the touchdown maker, and he's into Culver City territory. Another big play for Andre Nickerson.
Andre's a big kid as well. He's 6'4", 237 senior, and I have to imagine he's going to continue playing football next year beyond this. That's right, he's their SMU commit.
Sensational talent. Play fake and a throw, and it's caught inside the 30-yard line. And catching the football is Donovan Randolph. He has 5 touchdowns this year. That was a quick strike from Lincoln John. Beautiful drive developing for the Sentinels. Play fake and another throw to Nickerson. And Nickerson's inside the 20 and down to the 15.
Randy, we saw 4 great wide receivers last night. Nickerson gives us 5, and he fits right into that group. Big, athletic, catches with his hands, doesn't use his body, great moves in open space.
High motor, captain, leadership role, has it all.
Going to SMU with Cole Leinert.
Play fake again. Nickerson makes the catch in space, and there he goes, and he has another touchdown. Andre Nickerson has 2 scores tonight. He's been brilliant early on in Englewood.
Probably going to say his name about 25 more times this half. It doesn't take long for a football player to pop out in person or on tape, and he's that guy.
Well, if you like scoring, the last 2 nights on LA36 and NFHS and our other platforms, you're seeing it.
Well,
points in abundance.
It's an offensive showcase here at the end of October on Halloween.
For now, it's a frightening experience for these defenses. Low snap. This one is away. Just got that one up and over the upright. That crossbar I thought was going to get right into it, but it went over the crossbar and it was good. Let's go back to the Nickerson touchdown.
Well, it's a great play by the quarterback. I mean, you know, Lincoln Yawn just puts it right over the edge of the outside edge and flips it right into the hands. It's really well done by the quarterback. And
is that Chucky?
Did he give us the Chucky doll?
He gave us the Chucky doll. I didn't even see that in live action.
I didn't see it live. That's got to be your Brett Stye MVP move. Who pulls out the Chucky doll after a touchdown? It's Halloween, and there was no flag. And I'm glad they let that go.
It's surprising they let that go.
It's surprising,
That's a tribute to Dwayne Harris, the venerable veteran official.
I love it. There was nothing wrong with that. And I think if you could come up with a Halloween dance or doll like that on every touchdown, we just let it go. Let the kids have fun as long as they don't mock the opponent.
Well, Inglewood to kick off again. Up a touchdown. Team's moving the ball. We get to see this Culver City quarterback again. Nicholas Hong, who's got a rifle for an arm. And again, it's his accuracy that is so enjoyable to watch.
Ball is building up to 17.
Here's the return, and coming upfield is Boyd, but he doesn't go very far. That's excellent coverage by the Sentinels.
Really is excellent coverage. The lane integrity was solid, but the effort and the fly downfield, really everybody's selling out. And the one who actually missed a tackle earlier, let's call him out by name right now.
He made a
Jameer,
play.
there it is. Well, you know, he's young. His name is Jameer Bilot, and guess what? He's a great young football player.
He's very active. You know, just because he missed the tackle, you got to give credit on that earlier play to Harley Moore, who made him miss with a brilliant spin move.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we have a player down, so we have a pause in action for the moment. 2:38 left in the first quarter. And an enjoyable Halloween night.
Even more so, Randy, for me. At 3:37 p.m. today, my younger daughter, Alyssa,
Congratulations.
gave birth to a beautiful, healthy grandson of mine. I don't know the name yet. I don't think
You don't know your
him.
grandson's name?
I don't think they've named him yet.
What
But
are
I'm
they waiting for?
I don't know. Maybe they know that I'm calling a game tonight, and I get to see him tonight.
That'll be great.
Pretty excited about that.
Now, let's pick a good name here. It's a boy, you said, right? Grandson. So
Grandson, yeah. Let's
how
give him
about Langston? That's a pretty good name.
Well, Alyssa, if you're watching the game here on Shabbat, what do you think about Langston?
I'm giving you. We got Harley,
Langston Silver, and by the way, Alyssa Silver, married to Scotty Silver, who is an enormous Chicago Bears fan.
The best name might be IROC. His last name's Cordova, but
Oh,
how
take
about
a-
IROC?
All right, well, taking a look there at Fig James is the younger, the older brother of Milvon, and he's a tall coach. So when you see those guys standing next to him, they're tall. Culver City, another city school, public school. They're not in the LA City school, but where are they? They're 4 blocks southwest of Venice High School. They're a mile or so west of Hamilton High School. Culver City's finest, Shane Cox.
Injured player for Englewood is being helped off, as you can see.
Well, it's number 24, but can't quite get that number right.
So we'll move forward. Englewood leading 14-7. And the Culver City offense trotting back on. And again, this gives us that great opportunity to take a look at this quarterback Hong and the likes of Langston Wilson, Harley Moore, who had that touchdown reception earlier. Derek Wazo, another outstanding target. They use Wazo, plays cornerback, wide receiver, running back. He's a very versatile guy. Let's see what the offense can produce. Down by a touchdown.
We have a flag on the play.
Another marker is out. Simple dive into the middle of the line. And again, it was
Legal
Langston
motion
Wilson.
on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They have not given Wilson any creases to work with.
No, they're not going to either. When you look at the interior of that defensive line, number 54, the big junior Miles Smith, he's a load. He can shut down the whole side. and he's doing it on every play. Very active, great length, great feet, and he's got an unbelievable motor. That offensive right side of Culver's line's got their work cut out for him.
So you're thinking Culver's got to throw the football?
They're not going to run it in between the tackles unless they can somehow throw the ball all over the place and open it up.
Movement again, another flag.
It's my guy, Miles Smith.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Miles Smith doesn't need to start early. That junior is, like we mentioned, a game record. And you could see that it was obviously him coming across. 2nd down and 5.
Draws back to pass.
Room for Hong, and he can go to midfield and into Inglewood territory. The running ability of Nicholas Hong.
When those defensive linemen come so hard upfield, it's imperative that they stay in their lane. If you don't keep your lane integrity and you give space to a guy like Hong and your DBs are in coverage downfield, he's going to make you pay.
He's been impressive in this first quarter. Hong again, under duress, running again. A positive play. Behind the play, we might have a hole, but again, you can't take anything away from the scrambling ability of Nicholas Hong. Once again, Dwayne Harris will give us the indication, will give us the call. Eventually.
Hong's great with his feet. He really is. He's very great with his eyes and his mind. He sees it developing.
Holding. Offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty.
10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Fraction on Ronald McElroy, junior defensive tackle, nose guard on defense, and in that offensive front. Our first airplane in a while.
Yeah, when you watch the replay on it, he really didn't have much of a grab on him, and he let him go. It's really tough when these kids are allowed to use their hands, and you could call it on every play or you could let it go on every play.
Hong trying to buy time, throws downfield, got his man. Open target, beautiful throw to Joel LaFoe.
What a great play by Hong. Stood in the pocket. He saw the monster Miles Smith breathing down his neck. Miles was close enough where he could have tapped him, but smartly enough, he just let him go.
Again, they like LaFoe, that wide receiver. They like his size. That was a big play, overcoming down in distance. They're moving Miles Smith around, aren't they?
Now they have him standing up on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and they'll move him around, and as you can see now they're taking him off the field.
Well, not the same defense with him not out there. He gives him that pass rush ability. I think they want to settle him down, right, Chuck? He's jumped offside. He's been a little over anxious, but he's also made plays.
Yeah, he's got a heck of a motor. He just might need a break. He's running 40 yards on every play.
Valid point. 1st and 10. Sentinels moving the ball in the air. Their ground game really has been the quarterback, Nicholas Hong.
They got a 3-man front to run against, but a really great group of active linebackers can fill quickly. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run.
Hong may run, has the 40 and slides down at the 36. He looked up and he saw Cleavon Mouton right in his face and said, you know, I don't want to run into that gentleman. I don't want to get that kind of punishment. So he went right to the turf. Smart play. Good football play by Hong.
Yeah, he sees those Englewood linebackers, and they're really great in zone coverage. But really where they're so effective is the minute they see Hong, they're very quick to react. And they limited him to a yard, 2 yards on that play.
Draws back to pass.
We'll throw this one. That one's high again.
Incomplete.
Wanted that throw over the middle to go to LaFoe. Just the crossing pattern, and he missed him.
Yeah, the difference in a completion from the last drive to this is when that pressure comes in his face, it doesn't allow him to step up into the pocket. You can really see the follow through is gone, and that's why the ball sails. Last night we noticed a really clean pocket for Fahey, and he could really drive the ball. If you can't step into the pocket in high school, the ball sails and not good.
How about 562 yards in the air for Luke Fahey last night?
His grandparents met in the library.
At Ohio State, where he's going to go. That's deflected. That's up in the air. And was it caught? No, incomplete. Ooh, that was dangerous for Culver City. That was a live football in the air and could have been picked off. In all actuality, it was nearly brought in by Harley Moore. He was in the right spot at the right time, but it falls for an incompletion.
Right. When I watch the replay on this again, look at the pressure that comes off the edge. It's really, I think, great that the kid like Mouton comes off the edge, drops into coverage, but he sells out. He puts his arms up, he jumps.
Here's a big 4th down and 9. Culver City too far to kick a field goal. No reason to punt it. They're inside the 40 of Inglewood, so they're going for it. Hong again, throwing for the first down. He's got his man. This is going to be 1st and goal for Culver City. What a pitch and catch to Christopher McKay. And McKay with the big play.
What a great throw by Hong. And again, watch him stand in there and almost gets laid out by Miles Smith. Just an unbelievable job by that left tackle, pushing him past the quarterback. Very, very nice job on that.
That's a 4th and 9 conversion.
Yeah, that left tackle over there for Culver City, what a great job. It looks like that was probably Jonathan Lopez.
1st and goal. Hong with a big conversion and a great throw. Looking, throwing for LaFoe, and he can't get there. That's nice tackling in the secondary, in space. That's a tremendous job from Inglewood's Noah Clark.
Yeah, that great pass protection was Gerald Ivory. And let me tell you, that was one heck of a job.
That'll end the opening quarter. So after the first 12 minutes, lots of action. Centaurs with a chance to tie it when we come back. It's Englewood on senior night, leading 14-7. We'll be back after this. Tonight's prep game of the week on LA36 is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. It's Red West Pizza. By Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. And by our good friends at SOS Water Heater, the water heater experts.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Second and goal as we begin this second quarter. Hong has an empty backfield. I think he's going to put everyone on the flanks, showing a passing formation. Trying to tie the game here. Hong's been impressive throwing the football and running it.
Tip of the hat to the offensive line for Culver City. They really are undersized, but really overachievers, great with their feet, and really giving this quarterback a pocket to step up.
Oh no, this is potentially disastrous, and Hong falls down on it back at the 22. Oh, that can really derail the entire drive, and you see that Nicholas seems to be bewildered by this snap.
From the 21, 3rd and goal.
Now it's 3rd and goal, and obviously this will not be easy for Culver City.
Being a center and shotgun and long snapping, it's a thankless position because it's your first priority, but you've got a guy lined up against you who's 265 pounds and as quick as a brown bear. I mean, that's a tough assignment. 267-pound nose guard.
Wilson in the backfield. They have not been able to feature Langston so far tonight. Hong stepping up, climbing the pocket, looking to run, and he'll get a couple, but that's it. Doing a great job spying on the play. Again was Cleavon Mouton. There he is, number 16. He really spied the quarterback.
Not really his job on that play, but he's so good at it, right? He can track him down in space. He runs better than most wide receivers and running backs. Having an athlete like that on the edge, it's an equalizer. He could spy from either side. And the secondary for Inglewood sits on the goal line in a 20-yard pass in zone.
4th and goal. So they're not going to try the field goal. They're going to go for it.
Draws back to pass.
Near side. They want a double pass here. They're going to throw it, and it's going to get picked off and back the other way. And this one is being brought back. And for Englewood, it's Alan Wilson. Alan Wilson still on his feet. Alan Wilson all the way to the 32. There's the other Wilson. And he's jumping for joy.
Excuse me, number 5, Alan Wilson with the interception.
So you have 2nd and goal. You're right up against the goal line. You have the bad snap. You go for it on 4th down. We might have a celebration penalty here. Now you're picked off on a trick play as you had Forte throw the football, the running back, and it went the wrong way for Culver City. We'll check this marker, see what it is. They're still sorting it out.
We love trick plays when they work, and you can't yell or say negative things when they don't work. I don't want a non-quarterback throwing the ball down at the goal line.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 16 on the return team. 15-yard penalty, first down, Englewood.
But again, celebrating. I love celebrating, but they just don't let them do it.
Remember what I said, you could celebrate, but don't taunt, and I'm pretty sure there was a taunt in there. Take off and run, mitigate your damages.
Yeah, Forte threw it up for really grabs, but it was 4th and goal, so it's probably not
and then
a bad
Hong
decision.
gets laid out trying to make the tackle.
Chuck, but I thought he had to throw it because it was 4th and goal. He's not going to run it in from there. Either way, it sets up Englewood beautifully. John with the deep aerial. Incomplete at the 5. A near connection.
What a great job in closing on that, huh?
Yeah, it was tremendous. Look who was the intended target again. It was Mouton.
Holding on the offense.
Another penalty. It's going to back up Englewood behind the play. A holding foul.
10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Holding, offense, number 8, 10-yard penalty from the previous
That throw
spot.
was right
Still,
there.
first down.
That throw was right there, and you talk about a great effort by your cornerback on that for Culver City. Number 12, Jesse Gramajo gets beat off the line of scrimmage. He doesn't quit on the ball. He puts his head down. He closes. And somebody taught him, don't give up on the ball. Make the quarterback make that play. He was able to close in on that and force the incompletion.
Englewood backed up to their 42-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
Draws back to pass.
Incomplete. On that slant.
That's a matchup they seem to love, going after Gramajo, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but he's a very, very feisty corner.
Andre Williams was the one that was targeted, the fleet-footed wide receiver, but a sophomore. Averages 16 yards a catch. There's Lincoln John. He too is a sophomore, so there's some young pieces here at Englewood that figure to grow in years to come. And Gilvon James building the program up. He always has really good football teams. They have the talent to bother some people, certainly in the playoffs. They figure to go to either the Division III or Division IV, depending on the outcome here tonight. 2nd down and long. Another deep pass. Wide open receiver. This one is caught. It's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Englewood.
That's 18. That's Jordan Williams.
Again, we are always trying to check out and make sure the uniform number. I think it's, well, it could be either one. It's hard to see if it's an 18 or a 16.
16 is Mouton, and that wasn't Mouton.
Yeah, I don't think it was Mouton either.
All right, so now my question is to Milvan. Where is the green in your uniform? You look like the Inglewood Raiders, and those numbers are horrible. So We have the right just to give kids nicknames based on the play they make. Remember? That's how we do it, nicknames.
Well, it's difficult. You want to make the call. You want to credit the kid, but you can't read the number because they're really from distance blurred. And even on close-up angles, some of them are good, but others are, you know.
Yeah, no pointing fingers. We're not pointing any fingers. Adidas, those are horrible numbers.
But it was a great play.
That's a great play.
20-7.
I told you they were going to keep going after the corner on that side, and unfortunately, I don't think that's a trend they're going to move away from anytime soon.
And the PAT is forthcoming for Inglewood eventually, but we're going to have another timeout for the moment. Inglewood, true to their life existence, they always seem to come up with big plays.
This feels like an LA City section officiated game. I don't know if it's the geography or the abundance of delays in the game, but you got that feeling.
I believe this is Alexander Rivas kicking the football.
We're right in the flight path. We should direct the traffic on the field.
It is Rivas kicking. And he's got Alexander Rivas, the senior.
By Rivas.
Well, let's go back to the touchdown.
21-7.
I really couldn't tell if he was in man coverage or zone, but either way, the fact that he spent the entire time, Jesse, staring into the backfield, I know his coaches aren't going to let him live that down in film. You can't look into the backfield whether you're in a 3-deep zone or man. Not very good fundamental there, and when you're giving up 4.5 inches, you got to be better in your fundamentals. Randy, look, here comes the plane. It's coming right at us.
I may have to dodge this one.
When you look at the Bay League and you look at Lawndale, who's at the bottom of it, but we clearly think they're on their way up. Milton's going to get the players. They're going to build that program. Englewood is where Lawndale wants to be. Culver City is still a notch below, but they were in that spot last year. How do you catch programs like Lusinger and Palos Verdes? It's just, you know, Costa. It's a great league. It really is one of the most unheralded
There we
leagues.
go.
Oh, there's a stowaway. Don't jump.
That's how close we are. That plane is right on schedule to drop on a runway at LAX within seconds. Here's the return by Wazo. Out of bounds across the 30. Culver City so close to tying the game up, then they had the bad snap, the reverse pass that was picked off, and suddenly you look up and Inglewood's up 2 touchdowns.
But no time to panic.
No.
Culver City could move the ball. They can play defense, and they get the ball to start the second half. So you really want to focus on the play and the drive. Don't think about the 2 scores. If you win the battle for the next 9.5 minutes, you go into the locker room down 1 score, but you get the ball.
They'll start from their 33-yard line. Will the Centaurs?
I'd like to see them start throwing to the slot receiver. 14, Christopher McKay. He looks to be open almost on every snap.
Wilson in that backfield again has really not touched the football much in this first half. Langston Wilson, the track star. There he gets the hand up, and he finally has operating room. And there he goes. Langston Wilson out to the 48-yard line. First down.
Yeah, I want to point out things because that's what I do, right? I want to be overly critical. But when we watched that game last night, people go from start to finish with every whistle. They block like linemen. The skill players in this game, they don't attack. If the ball doesn't come their way, they just kind of watch the play.
Andre Nickerson, 2 touchdowns in this first half for Inglewood. He's been the difference maker. We have a timeout on the field.
Inglewood.
Timeout.
Sentinels with another timeout as Culver City starts to get a drive going, and it's nice for them to see Langston Wilson get involved.
Brett Stye, who helps us put on these games, and I know we don't mention him enough because there's not a lot of individuals out there who say, hey, let me throw out $250,000 and sponsor 3 years of TV games. But we're giving these kids, these coaches, and these families an opportunity to put something in their digital wallet for life. And You know, the big thing now is, hey, I've got my highlights on Huddle, and quite frankly, colleges, if that's your goal, they don't want to see highlights. They want to see your whole game. They want to see what you do on the play when the ball doesn't come your way. And if you're that guy who just watches from your position and you don't hustle and you don't block, you're going to Santa Monica College or West LA College. You got to play from whistle to whistle, give it everything you've got.
Well, Hong's only a junior. He's 6 feet and 180 pounds. After this next play, I'm going to ask Chuck what he thinks about Hong's chances of playing at a higher level. And there we see Inglewood again jump the count. So what do you think? Do you think Hong has a future at the next level?
I do. He's at the 6 foot mark. It's not the minimum standard, right? It's not like, hey, you have to be a certain height. He really runs his offense well. He's obviously got a gifted arm. The question that colleges will look at is, how does he throw the deep out? How does he throw the comeback? How does he lead his team?
Draws back to pass.
Well, here's the deep ball, and it's a perfect throw. And Moore nearly came down with it at the 10-yard line. Moore has their touchdown, and he was looking to make a circus grab.
A great throw, and that was actually unbelievable defense as well. But when we talk about the quarter, let's watch it again. You know, where's the ball at? He keeps it a little low. He's got a hitch. You know, all these things people look at. He ends up with a great ball that probably should have been caught. You know, but every snap tells a lifetime of stories about a quarterback.
You mentioned the coverage. IROC Cordova in that secondary, breaking the play up.
You love IROC.
I love the name. I think that should be your grandson's name.
Keep the ball up at your shoulder. Get rid of it. Don't drop it. He's going to be a great quarterback. He's young.
Hands the ball up.
Langston Wilson maybe got 1 or 2 yards, and he's driven back by Robert Nobles, number 22, the middle linebacker. One of the great tacklers on that defensive unit is Nobles. Isaiah Haywood Johnson on that defensive front, also making some contact.
That is one big sophomore.
289 pounds. Third down and 3. Closing in on 8.5 remaining in the half. 21-7 for Englewood on defense.
Flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, ball starts, offense, 5-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty, still.
Harley Moore moves, the wide receiver.
That's the second time he's done that. He's excitable. He got 1 touchdown. He wants more.
Well, Harley's a 3-year starter, very explosive player. And obviously, he's anxious tonight because there's so much on the line. Trying to get into the playoffs. Back to the 50-yard line. 3rd and 8.
They're cover 1. They're man across with a deep free safety. Moore will have a lot of space over here to the sideline.
Another gorgeous throw. That was perfection, stepping up in the pocket to LaFoe.
And what did you say? Being able to step up in the pocket with a clean pocket and not having to worry about breaking your thumb on the follow-through or getting smacked on the delivery. Great O-line.
Down to the 29. Culver City threatening again. Touchdown would be big here. It's been the little things that have cost him in this opening half. And Hong looking to throw the football again. This time they get to him. He's sacked.
Guess who?
Number 54, Miles Smith. His 6th sack of the season.
Monster.
I'm not going to guess, by the way, when you say guess who, because I got to make sure of those numbers. I thought it was Miles, but you never know.
That's not going to be his last one of the night. He is just absolutely like in a title fight where you punch the body every single play. He's a tough individual to block. How you don't double team him, I'm not quite sure what the strategy is. 2nd
and 16, down to 7:30 left. Another big play needed for the Centaurs. Hong has dazzled in this half. Another quick strike. And again, spinning away is Moore down the sideline. There he goes again. The brilliance of Harley Moore.
And I can't stop watching Miles Smith at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you better watch this guy, number 9, Harley Moore. He got him a first down. Overcoming 16 yards needed, and they get it and move the chains. Culver City down to the 15. Hong again. throwing another perfect strike down the sideline. Is it going to be a touchdown right by the pylon? It is. It's a touchdown for Christopher McKay. And Culver City strikes right back.
Christopher McKay,
You
best
said
friend.
he's been open all night.
Open all night. He's best friends with the quarterback at Lawndale, Galvez. We miss Galvez and his brother.
Yeah, Galvez to Galvez was fun to call for Lawndale. They're having a tough year. They're a young football team, and they'll get better in years to come. But here it's Christopher McKay. Big touchdown for the junior to get his team within a touchdown of tying this football game.
We've seen some great quarterbacks this year, Randy.
We really have, and Hong is so impressive. Perez trying to cut it down to a 7-point game. Will be out of the hold of Diego Quintero, who also is a kicker.
Norris Milton would be happy if we mentioned his quarterback. Can I do it again?
Sure can.
Shout out to Galvez.
You liked that guy, didn't you? You were excited.
I liked
about
him a
Galvez.
lot. I love his brother. The loyalty to that program, and yeah, it's going to help Norris a long way.
Perez bangs that one through, and it's a 21-14 game.
We talk about the quarterback. Talk about Adrian Galvez.
I want to talk about Hong. He's throwing touchdown passes.
He's a junior. He's going to be looking at an Ivy League school.
Who, Hong?
Yeah. He'll be an Ivy League look at 6 foot. You talked about the academics, and he's got another year to grow and mature and develop. You know, it's who's my quarterback coach and what's 7-on-7 team, and all that stuff's meaningless.
I don't see any weaknesses, really. He can run. Again, he needs more size. It would be great if he was 6'5", but he can run the football. He's exceedingly accurate. He can throw on the run, and he's very intelligent, and he'll take a sack rather than throw the football away. He just makes the right play.
He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and what you're doing in a game like this is you're really growing up in dog years, because when you're able to go against a defensive line like this with what I would say is a physically inferior offensive line, it really enables you to show who you are going to be in the future. He is one tough SOB.
You can't say that on TV.
You can't?
I would not say that.
I'm sorry.
He's tough. I'll leave it at that. We'll let it go.
Well,
It's one.
okay,
It's
yeah.
one.
Is that a bad word?
It is a bad word. We only speak
apologize.
positive things. Perez grounding the ball down the field. Inglewood still has plenty of time, better than 7 minutes. And they always have this guy, Andre Nickerson. He's been the star in the first half for the Sentinels. It's senior night. They have 15 seniors playing their final game this evening. How good is Inglewood? You know, we saw Los Alabitos this year. Inglewood battled them. They lost the game 20-12, but they held that offense in check.
When I compare Englewood to the schools that we did last night, Mission Viejo and Los Al, last night's games had coaching staffs, and it's hard to put them all in the same category in terms of where they're at. Athlete-wise, they're all top-notch.
1st and 10 at the 40. See if Inglewood can counter. Number 4 is Welch in the ball game, and there's Samaje, and that tells you immediately that Milvon James knows he's in a football game. He did not want Welch to play. Welch is a guy that's over 1,000 yards on the ground this season. He wanted to sit him out. He said, Randy, the only way I'll play him is if it's competitive, and it is.
I'm not so sure Tillman didn't get dinged up on a kickoff unless I'm missing it and they moved him to wide receiver.
But Welch is in there, number 4. And that tells us all we need to know.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense,
We know it's a
5-yard
competitive
penalty,
game.
still, 2nd down.
Samaje's there. Great balance, physical runner, hard worker. Just a junior, and if you talk to Milvon, he loves him. 2nd down and a dozen. 21-14, Ingle with the ball and the lead. And another gorgeous night in Southern California. This is our 6th game of the season that we have called on this package, and every single night it's been between 68 and 72. It's a little cooler because we're by the ocean. We're off by LAX and close to the water, but still it's a lovely evening.
Drops back.
There's the throw. Accurate throw by Lincoln John, but nothing there. That's good running to the football as they track down Brandon Crawford.
And a great job by the D-line, not over-penetrating, really just trying to play conservative, sit, hold their gap. That allowed them to but stop that quick screen. And, you know, I'm getting old, Randy. Sometimes I forget what I had for lunch, but I was horrible on the quarterback at Lawndale. It was not Adrian. It was Julian Galvez. And I knew I didn't have it right. And I hate to be wrong. It happens every other day, but.
Drops back.
Another throw, nearly intercepted. Into and out of the hands of Kalen Carter. Nearly had his second pick of the year.
We're going to see a punt.
That's a rarity. We haven't seen very many punts the last couple nights, have we? Carter thought he had the interception.
Yeah, once again, the idea was for them to go deep over here on number 12, right? And, you know, we're not going to call out people that they're going to pick on, but if that's the matchup they want, Culver sat with two safeties and just rolled one right up on top of it. The quarterback really wasn't looking beyond the receiver.
Huezo and Forte are back deep, and just like that, Culver City has time on their side. 5:43 remains. Could come down the field, maybe tie the game, Chuck.
You know, in high school football, emotionally, sometimes when it's so easy to score and things happen easily, you lose a little bit of your focus and a little bit of your edge, and don't do that against Culver City. They're a good football team. They're well coached.
Rolls down inside the 30 and down to about the 25.
It almost looked like that ball hit somebody on the way down, but probably somebody on the coverage team.
Yeah, I had the same thought as you. And let's see where they place it down. It was touched at the 40 by the coverage team, which is a break for Culver City.
Do we talk about the officials from last night? The call that we had right and they had wrong?
Right on the advance.
On the advance of a forward fumble where you and I were like, you can't do that, and they did it.
I still don't know why they did it.
But you talked to Siri today, and guess what? She confirmed it.
Yep, it says
we were right.
In high school football, you cannot advance.
The ball comes down right there.
Yep. There it is. Boom. It's the team.
Oh, it did. It hit at Inglewood. Yeah.
That's why it's at the 40.
That's why he's using his head.
I think it was Mouton again, by the way.
1 and 3. We can see those numbers.
Now, some of the numbers are really clear and others are blurry. There's 16. Mouton has been in on a lot of plays.
We're going to give the MVP of this game right now to the defensive line at Inglewood. They are fun to watch.
Langston looking to bounce it outside. Langston Wilson has 3 yards and a sure tackle. That's well done in the secondary from Inglewood's Chase Wesley.
And they've just given up their MVP award in one play because they didn't hold the edge. Defensive end puts his nose inside where it doesn't belong, gives up the outside. And when they don't fire off and use the physical superiority that they should have based on their size, they lose everything. No shove, no push, no get off, no stop.
Again, the running game has not been there tonight.
Guess
for
who?
Langston Wilson.
All right.
I would say Miles Smith. And it would be Miles Smith.
He spends more time in that backfield than Hong. He almost looks bored.
I'm sure he's not bored.
All right.
He stands up on the edge. He goes down to the 3 technique. He goes to the 1 technique. Stands up on the weak side. He's only a junior.
3rd and 8. Culver City looking to extend the drive as we approach 4 minutes to play in the half. Hong again. He can run for the first down. Oh, I hope he didn't slide too early. It'll be interesting to see where they put him down. I don't know if he got all the way to the first down mark.
No, he slid early.
Yeah, he went too early.
And I don't think they're going to punt either.
No, it'll be 4th down and 1. He could have had the first down. He just slid a little bit early, a little bit premature.
I'd like to see.
They go fast. There's an easy first down for Hong. into Inglewood territory to the 48-yard line.
I would like to see his receivers take their hands off their hips and work. I want to see those receivers block when the ball doesn't go to them. That's what they're missing.
So the judgment error by Hong doesn't hurt his football team as he converts it on 4th down. Forte to the near side, drawing one-on-one coverage. He's got good speed. Let's see if Hong goes back up top. That one's deflected and nearly picked off.
Incomplete.
That one was close to Sorrell Howard, outside linebacker. That could have been a big play for Inglewood had Howard been able to track it down, but it wasn't quite in a position where he can get to it. But one of those big DLs that you've been talking about got a hand on it.
That's Mouton. He comes off the edge. He's got a great vertical. He throws the arms up there, and you just watch him come off the edge. He's so quick.
2nd down and 10.
And they move the back on the other side this play, which is going to hurt them on the double team of Mouton off this edge.
Pocket breaks down, and he has to unload quickly. Now, LaFoe was out there, but he was harassed, and he had to throw the football. The coverage in the secondary was solid from Chase Wesley, but that's one of the few times we've seen tremendous pressure.
They won off of a double play. Game 7.
Stadium game announcer just says the Dodgers won in 3-1 fashion.
Yeah, Blue Jays were threatening. Apparently they lined into a double play. So it'll be game 7 tomorrow night. So sit back and relax this one the rest of the way. You have a good one.
Draws back to pass.
Again, the pressure, no chance. Again, it was Miles Smith blowing up the play. Miles Smith is really unblockable, isn't he?
He is, and you look at the lack of swagger from the O-line as they come off the field, and it's a defeated look because they're not physically able to match up. Unfortunately, with him and Mouton, both of those guys require double teams, and I don't know that gets it done.
Culver City will punt here on 4th and 10. Englewood has 3 minutes to work with.
You look at the pass rush of schools like Inglewood, Lusinger, Miracosta, Palos Verdes. It's a very, very aggressive defensive setup in the Bay League. Ask any of these young quarterbacks, you don't want to be the guy standing back against those guys for four quarters.
Centaurs back to kick.
Kick is away for Ramirez, and he gets a very favorable roll, and Inglewood's going to have a long field. They're going to have to come back 88 yards if they want to score again.
Not going to watch the Dodger game tomorrow night. We brought them luck by not watching. I'm not watching tomorrow night.
I don't think you had anything to do with the Dodgers and Blue Jays tonight.
You're not superstitious?
No. Here it's 21-14.
I watched every pitch of the last 2 games. I didn't watch one tonight. Go Blue.
21-14 in favor of Englewood in a spirited first half for both these teams, the Sentinels and the Centaurs. Similar nicknames. 2 players by the name of Wilson, one on each side. We have John is one of the quarterbacks, Lincoln John, and the other quarterback is Hong. Well, it could be easy to get confused, right?
Well, it doesn't take much to confuse me.
And they'll look to throw it, and there's another sack. Tremendous bull rush coming in from Derek Clark Saya again, number 42.
Not sure he was really blocked hard off that edge. Maybe we just missed him. Not from this side. Oh, untouched.
Yep, clear path to the quarterback. No chance for Lincoln John.
Yeah, apparently the tackle stepped down and there was nobody outside to pick off the edge. And not on a blitz, but he's a defensive end. That wasn't a blitz.
You know, maybe Culver City's thinking we can get the ball back before halftime and maybe do some damage. They need to slow down Englewood. John again rolling. He's in that end zone and just throws it away. to live for another down. Again, the pass rush was superior. Breaking through was Njoko, and he had assistance from Jalen Galloway. Those two were chasing the quarterback, and John just threw it away.
Culver's lining up in a 3-5 look on the front, and those outside guys sometimes drop into coverage, and then on alternate plays they'll come. And the minute that tackle engages and steps down, you can see these outside kids are really schooled well on when to come in.
Well, Jamal Wright, the coach at Culver City, says his football team is playing its best ball of the year, and we're seeing flashes of it here in the first half. And if they can get off the field here, they have an opportunity to get tremendous field position.
No threat to run the ball as they sit in an empty formation.
This is a big down. Coming off the field is Shelton Bryant. See him, number 11, trotting off, being replaced by Braden Williams. I think this is a big play. 2 minutes left in the half. You're looking at 3rd and 16. There's a situation where you want to keep Inglewood from the big play if you're Culver City. John pressured again, rolling and throwing, and he missed his target, and it will be 4th down.
That's a tough throw when you try and throw way back across your body. It's not advised.
That one was intended for Njoku, number 10. Njoku is a two-way player, and we're going to have 4th down. And as noted, Culver City will get advantageous field position.
If you don't square your shoulders to the target when you're on the run, it's a really difficult pass. If the person's running away from you, it's an ill-advised pass. And even as wide open as he was, they say the number 1 rule as a quarterback is don't throw the ball back across the field.
Timeout taken. Inside of 2 minutes to play in the half. Culver City's got to feel pretty good here, Chuck. They were down 21-7. You had the feeling they were starting to lose some contact from Englewood. They get a beautiful drive and a touchdown to cut it to 21-14. Their defense has stepped up in the latter part of the second quarter, and now they have an opportunity. And like you said, they get the ball to begin the second half. They have a chance here to score back-to-back. They, get one going in, get one coming out. Suddenly, this could be a completely different football game.
Well, for sure, and time is no factor on this last drive. Depending on what happens with the punt, they're going to get the ball back with at least a minute 45 without even trying to use a timeout. There's plenty of time for them to set up a field goal, plenty of time for them to score a touchdown. So what do? Maybe you run the ball. Maybe you hit them with a screen. I'm calling screen all day long if I'm Culver City till I could slow down this defensive front. Their linebackers drop into zone. And for God's sakes, if you're Culver City, stay off the punter. These 2 points aren't going to help you anywhere. Field position and a touchdown will win you the game.
So the Sentinels punting the ball away, and it's a very short kick. In fact, it's a touchdown.
That ball was blocked and caught.
It was blocked. I thought it was going to get outside of the end zone. What an odd play. And Shelton Bryant, number 11, came up with it. And I'm startled. I don't know if I've ever seen quite a play like that.
Well,
Inglewood gets to see that again.
Inglewood gets the ball back with a minute 49, and now all of a sudden the game's tied instead of up by 7.
Shelton Bryant. I thought that one was going to come outside the end zone, but he blocked it and it stayed there, and he got it. And he is being saluted. And now this PAT from Daniel Perez can tie it suddenly. So that 14-point lead has evaporated in the last 6 minutes. Kick is up. The kick is good, and we're dead even at 21.
Thank you, Brett Stye. You continually keep giving us gifts.
All right, I got to see this. Because, all right, here's the snap. The snap is good. He just, did he catch it? He kicked it straight up in the air. It wasn't blocked. It went straight up in the air.
The last time we saw that was in 1973. The punter was Warren Moon, who went by the name of Harold. in a playoff game against North Hollywood High School, forever referred to as the moonshot. He kicked the ball behind him on a punt.
I thought when I saw it, he kicked the ball. That's why I said short kick. I was right.
It was negative.
Everyone here said block kick. And he's just straight up in the air. Oh, what an amazing play. And one for the highlight reel. 21 all. You're seeing it all on our game of the week.
How does that not go to Sports Center? How do we get it to top 10?
It should. I've never seen a play like that. Straight up in the air, came right back down, and Shelton Bryant caught it and said, hey, thank you for the Halloween gift. What kind of candy is this? 21 is the draw. We knew it would be entertaining. We didn't think it would be quite this crazy. There's the low kick to the ground and out of bounds.
That
and
we're
now
used to.
Inglewood, yeah, we are used to that. Now Inglewood's going to get some solid field position.
They'll run the ball on first down. They'll run with some tempo. And again, a minute 49 is an eternity with these fast-paced offenses, with quarterbacks and coaches who don't even huddle anymore. They call the whole game from the O-line.
Inglewood will take it from the 35. First down.
We knew it would come to the 35 because we've seen that rule so often in our games this year.
That's an LA City kick. It's taken over at their own 35.
I still can't believe that punt went straight up in the air and Bryant caught it for a touchdown. I've never seen that before. There's a first for everything. But you saw it back in the 70s with the moonshot.
Yeah, you were at that game too.
Yeah, I don't remember it though.
You only remember the pick by William Hunt.
I do. John scrambling, and down he goes at the 38. And Culver City's building momentum here. Chuck, this is a different Culver City team in the last half of this second quarter.
It's amazing what a little bit of momentum does in high school football. And now all of a sudden you look at Englewood and they're not hanging their heads, but where's the spark?
Draws back to pass.
Deep throw to the side. Great catch. Oh, what a grab by Alan Wilson. Alan Wilson, we mentioned him on the pregame show, and he's made some big plays, has a pick, and that was a wonderful catch on the sideline.
They're really going to have a nice time with those one-on-one battles on both sides of the field with their outside receiver against those corners. And if they can keep the safeties in between the hashes or the safety deep, they're going to win most of those matchups on the sideline.
Just like that, Inglewood down to the 37, and they have time. $1:22 to play before the break. Another throw, another reception into the red zone, and again it's Alan Wilson, and they're starting to feature Wilson, and we thought they would.
That passing game is going to flourish as long as they keep the ball outside the hash marks, keep the safeties out of the game.
How much fun is this, Chuck? 2 nights in a row to see shootouts.
It'd be more fun to be down there playing, but it's great to watch.
It really is fun. First down. Sentinels
Hands the ball off.
up the middle, the quick draw there. Excellent defensive play by Kim Analoa again.
And that's Tillman back in at tailback.
Yeah, number 8 is Tillman. Lincoln John throwing the ball. It's intercepted, but outside the boundary on the deflection. It was picked off by Gramajo, but unfortunately for the Centaurs, he was out of bounds.
Englewood lined up in a trips over here, and it really looked like there was some confusion among those 3 guys because they all just kind of got stagnant at that one point of attack. Usually where you get a rub or a pick and you find somebody running wide open, and it just kind of clogged up there.
Tillman in the backfield, Andre Williams on the flanks, number 19, he's in the slot.
Need to run the ball against this front, get closer to the first down.
Third down play.
2.5 guys in the box, they're giving you the run.
Draws back to pass.
Lincoln again throwing to the end zone, it's caught. Touchdown, Andre Williams.
Don't listen to me, Coach Bill Von James, you do your thing.
Andre Williams with the post for the touchdown.
I think if you have a video guy in the back of the end zone, they allow you to celebrate. Might be a rule. We're going to videotape it so we can celebrate. Because there's no flag, but there's video. And we're in basically LA City boundaries.
Hey, give Inglewood some credit here, Chuck. I mean, You see a wacky play, you see Culver City tied, not deterred, come right down the field, make it look easy and score the touchdown.
They get all the credit in the world. When I talked to Milvon, and you and I talked about this all week,
as Rivas drives it up and throws.
They're a program that is continually getting better. The image of the school and the brand is really right where Milvon wanted it to be at this stage. And as you see the throw, it's a laser. And why? Because he's got a clean pocket. He can step up and throw. But in talking to Milvon and asking him, you know, where does the success come from? He says it's really the kids, it's the discipline, it's the buy into the program. But he shouted out people like Dr. James Morris, Bernadette Lucas, Dr. Lamar Collins, principal, and Dr. Saba Araya, principal. And that's the foundation of the Englewood Unified School District Administration, principals. And when you get that support, this is what you get on the field. LA Unified, take a look. If you support your kids and your coaches, you get good football teams. If you don't have it, guess what? You're the laughingstock of the city. So very good point Milvon makes. He's got the upper level, and they are going to turn this program into something the city of Englewood will celebrate like they did the Showtime Lakers. That's his goal.
A big statement.
Without Magic Johnson.
Okay. Final half minute. Coming back with it is Derek Uezo. He's knocked down. Didn't quite reach the 40.
Tackle on the play. Ball will be spotted at the 38.
Well, the way this quarterback throws the football, why not just go for it? He's got pretty good field position. Take a shot.
I'm taking a knee.
You're taking a knee, I'm taking a shot.
You got a pass rush, and you got nothing but athletes, and every time the ball ends up in Englewood's hands with an open field, it's a recipe for disaster. They're playing the pass.
I'm going for Harley Moore here, that big-time wide receiver.
I'm taking a knee.
Mr. Conservative over here.
Well, I want to get to the hospital after the game, too, to see my grandson. And this game is longer than a, you know.
Well, a lot of scoring. It's going to slow down the tempo. On a delayed handoff to Langston Wilson. Langston, you need to get out of bounds. He's fighting for about 5 or 6 yards. But that's not going to do it because the clock is running down. Let's see if they stop it again.
Timeout. Timeout. White.
They do. Langston could have easily stepped out of bounds. It was a nice run of 6 yards.
It's a great play call, and believe it or not, Englewood's really not sitting in anything other than their base defense. So they're saying, look, do what you want to do. We're going to play the way we play. Our kids are better than yours. And there's something to be said about that level of confidence, the swagger, if you would. And you know, I know Milvon from when he played at Fremont High School, so I look across the field at him, and I look at him before the game, and he's always that kid that was just a little bit more mature than his teammates. He was always brighter than his teammates.
Had a great conversation with Milvon before the game. We're talking about Milvon James. Delightful guy, wonderful personality, really loves his kids, wants to send them to the highest school imaginable, whether it's academics or sport, football. He just loves his kids, wants to do best for them. Ball's on the ground. It's not how you want to complete the second quarter. It is Englewood football, and guess who recovered?
You don't have to tell me.
Miles Smith is there. And just like that, there's 5.5 seconds left. I guess Englewood will take. Now they will take a shot.
He's miles ahead of any defensive lineman we've seen. He is an animal.
He is a tough football player, and I guess you could say he has a blood-curdling effect on Halloween.
Now that is spooky.
I like that line. Good retort.
Here's what Englewood's going to do on this play.
Well, they need 40 yards.
So that's an easy one. They're going right to the end zone, and
well, they just hit Andre Williams, number 19.
If I'm Culver City, I'm dropping people to the goal line, and they've got nobody even inside their own 20 at this point.
5 on the flanks.
Here we go.
Not sure what they're doing defensively. They got nobody deep.
Drops back.
John being pursued. Just tosses it away, and it's halftime.
Something to be said for pressure. I guess it doesn't really matter how you cover or where you cover if you get the quarterback running for his life.
So we're at the break. Another high-scoring football game. 28-21. Inglewood leading Culver City at intermission. We'll hear from our sponsors. Then we'll go to our wonderful show, SoCal Prep Report. We'll have some excerpts from that program, and we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes. We'll talk to you soon. Tonight's prep game of the week on LA36 is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. It's Red West Pizza. By Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. And by our good friends at SOS Water Heater, the water heater experts.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Always wanted to start a show like this. Breaking news. And the man that broke it was Tarek Fatal. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to hand it over to you, Tarek. What did you do this morning?
Feels good. I actually had the information late last night, was able to actually put the, sometimes it was quite convenient. I got the information like 10:30, was able to take my time, put some things together, just knowing it probably wasn't going to break at that time. And even if I wanted to break it at that time, probably not a great time to do it. No one would see it that late at night. So I was able to put some things together, including a video on Norco having to forfeit its 6 wins this year. They'll go from 6-3 to 0-9 before playing Vista Marietta tonight in their final game of the year. There's so much to dive into. We won't get too far into the weeds. They could potentially still make the playoffs, win or loss at 0-10 or 1-9. But basically a retroactive penalty due to CIF violations that include 2 bylaws, including undue influence and falsifying documentation. So once they found out that information, basically those players are deemed ineligible, and they retroactively have to forfeit those games now.
Isn't that a little bit harsh to forfeit 6 games over a couple individuals and paperwork?
Yeah, no, there's no question that is a fair, side to have when there's forfeits, kids maybe being ousted of playoff opportunity. I'm with you on that. It just seems like with the adults responsible, why are the kids now paying the price? It's a tough go, but that's the story there. California high school football team forfeits all wins due to CIF violations, and it's Norco in this case.
Got to find out tonight how they're going to do, and I find myself now rooting for Norco because I don't think they should have been penalized like that, losing 6 games. It's only in the record. As Tarek said, they can make the playoffs. Yep. All could be good by the end of the year if they can make a run. Speaking of Norco, how'd they do on the field last week? Well, they actually played pretty well, especially offensively. They played Corona Centennial 59-49 for the Huskies, but Norco showed up.
Yeah, they did, and they're a good team. And actually, what's the bummer part about the forfeits is they were in contention for an automatic playoff spot out of the Big West League. Now with the forfeits, they'll be an at-large berth team, a potential team now. Point is Norco is very capable, And, their best player is a kid named Blake Wong, 13 catches, 206 yards, and 3 touchdowns last week, and only a junior. So they have talent.
Yeah, Dean Gibson had a huge rushing game, 4 touchdowns for the Huskies. Catalano threw the ball effectively, and there's no question Corona Centennial's got that offensive going. But Norco put up 49, so you wonder about the defense going forward. All right, let's check out some of these other games. St. John Bosco. We don't have to worry about the Braves, the ranked #1 in the country. Koa, the quarterback, Malaolu, 42-0. He threw 3 touchdowns. He ran for another TD. The Braves are obviously a powerhouse team. We'll talk about their matchup with Mater Dei tomorrow night, but this is a Bosco team that's playing on all cylinders.
I previewed their game against Mater Dei earlier this week, and after thinking and stewing on it, and even talking with Jason Negro, maybe I mentioned it on the show last week. This might be the least talked about #1 team in the country in recent memory, and that's because everyone's talking about Mater Dei having 2 losses, which is, mind-blowing, and then everyone's also talking about the contenders, the Santa Margaritas, the Sierra Canyons of the world. So it's funny, that is taken away from the shine of St. John Bosco, and I think Jason Negro likes it that way.
Well, the shine, they beat a good Servite team, and they beat them badly, 42-0. All right, you mentioned Sierra Canyon. They, too, are a dominant football team. This is their 5th shutout of the season. Bishop Amont's had some good moments, a couple good victories this year, but they were no match for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, who is? That Sierra Canyon's 9-0, is going to finish the season 10-0. They play Loyola on Friday night, so it's likely they're going to finish 10-0. 5 shutouts, could be a 6th, depending on what they want to do on Halloween night. Could get real spooky there. Point is Sierra Canyon is a serious championship contender for that Division I title.
So Santa Margarita, they're playing well, and they continue to win football games. Carson Palmer's their head football coach, and their offense is getting a little bit better. They knock off Olu by 3 touchdowns, as you can see. The question is their offense. Their defense has been brilliant all year.
Defense is just as good as Sierra Canyon's. I don't know about better, but certainly in the same ilk of talent and impact of winning is that Santa Margarita defense. And it's actually shined even more. Why? Because Sierra Canyon scores points. Santa Margarita's, they beat Mater Dei 7-6. So, I mean, you're talking about the defense being the catalyst for any of their success. I don't know about their offense. Trent Mosley's back. It gives them a chance.
Mater Dei had no trouble with Jay Serra. This is no shock at all. Mater Dei expecting to feast on Jay Serra, and they did. The running back, Justin Lewis, had 3 rushing touchdowns for the Monarchs. Yeah,
the Monarchs, again, we're talking about, and this is something I talked about with Jason Negro, the St. John Bosco coach, about the game this week. Coach, what kind of team are you expecting? He goes, look, if they don't turn the ball over 11 times, it was like 7 times. If they don't turn the ball over a bunch of times against Corona Centennial, they probably win the game by 2 touchdowns. And then the loss against Santa Margarita, they missed wide open passes down the field. If one of those connects, they're unbeaten. So that Mater Dei team's very good. There is something missing, though, and that's why they have the 2 losses.
Well, let's hope for their sake Ryan Hopkins has an up game this weekend. He's been up and down all year.
Yep.
If Hopkins plays well, like he did against Gorman, then they have a chance. We shall see. We'll talk about that more later. The next one is Crean Lutheran with a brilliant comeback. Huntington Beach led this game 21-0.
Yep.
And Crean Lutheran stormed all the way back.
Yeah, Crean Lutheran, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Caden Jones is their quarterback. Really a standout player. They've got talent. They're likely going to be in Division II, which I think might be just a tad high for them. So they've played themselves into a premier division for the playoffs. The question is, how deep can they go in Division II?
How about this one in the Alpha League? San Clemente shocks previously undefeated Los Alamitos 28-9. I talked to Ray Fenton, our guy who's the head coach at Los Alamitos, and he said his team just didn't have a great game. He credited San Clemente. He says San Clemente's better than people think, but they just didn't play well, the Griffins.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a shock. San Clemente is known for being a good football program. There's no question. Coach Ortiz does a great job. But I just wasn't expecting them to beat Los Alamitos. The Griffins have been rolling and playing good football, so it adds a little pressure for their last game against Mission Viejo, which I know we're going to talk about here soon.
Talking about Mission Viejo, they took it to Edison in another Alpha League. There's only 4 teams in the Alpha League. Mission Viejo continues to roll. Another huge game for the quarterback, Fahey threw nearly 400 yards there. A lot of touchdowns. That's a very good Mission Viejo team that has some great wins already this year.
Yeah, that's going to be that's another Division I contender that's creating buzz and adding to the parity story of this season. You know, can they protect Luke Fahey? I don't know. Against a great front like Santa Margarita or Sierra Canyon, I don't think so. But like you've said already, time will tell.
I wanted to check his number. The exact real estate was 381 yards a week ago for Fahey.
Ohio State.
He's going to Ohio State. He is committed to the Buckeyes. The rich get richer. Fahey's got a great release, strong arm, reads the defense. He'll be fun. By the way, he's going to be on TV tonight. We'll talk about that as well. Right here, he's going to be on television. Next game we want to talk about is Laguna Beach and Dana Hills. You talk about the ultimate shootout. The quarterback, Jack Hurst, 387 yards, 5 touchdowns for the Breakers. The running back on the other side, Radley Geis, 237 yards, and a rush for 5 scores for Dana Hills. What a ball game.
I think these teams came in unbeaten. I think they were both 8-0, if I'm not mistaken, coming into that Week 9 game. And that's just fun, right? I mean, gosh, someone's got to lose and someone's got to win. So my friend Jack Paulin says, someone's O has got to go. And I think that's pretty good. Great game there.
I love that line. Good line, Jack Paulin. I know you're a baseline league guy.
I like the baseline league.
I know you do. So I want you to digest this score and give us your thoughts, because this is a surprise, isn't it?
No question. And I think the baseline league is known, you know, for its, you know, it's got some good, definitely some good basketball. But its football, you know, is right now it's Damien, Chino Hills, and Rancho Cucamonga. So Chino Hills goes and beats Damien in what I think is a stunning result, okay? Damien now, which has now 2 losses in the league, also lost to Rancho Cucamonga. So this week it's Chino Hills versus Rancho Cucamonga for the winner-takes-all baseline league championship. But win or loss, Chino Hills, known for being a basketball school, certainly has some good football.
Proven by their victory over Damien. So is Lou Zinger. They've got a program that's in the top 10 right now. They are outstanding. Knock off Miracosta in another Bay League game. But the game I want to talk about, let's move ahead to the next one.
Sure.
Western Christian, 35. Arrowhead Christian, nothing, and we have highlights. Do you know that Western Christian is undefeated?
I did know that, and I believe Arrowhead Christian has 1 loss.
This is Carter Doolittle doing his thing, throwing the touchdown to Connor Schofield. Gotta love that. Again, I've become a big Western Christian guy in this program. And Doolittle does it again. A perfect throw, getting it to Marco Beltran. This football team, like I said, is rolling. Now, to be honest, the team they played, Arrowhead Christian's got a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores in the lineup. Great footage there from our game of the week. That is a very good football team at Western Christian.
Quick correction. Thank you to my producer here who told me they don't have 1 win. I was wrong. Or excuse me, they don't have 1 loss. They only have 1 win. Arrowhead Christian.
Arrowhead, yeah.
Yeah. I said they had 1 loss.
Well, a lot of close.
No, there's a big difference there. Yeah.
Come on, we're here to make the kids feel good, aren't we?
Well, it's the truth.
All right, here's our Max Preps. Or do we change this? I think you might have changed this. This might be Tark's.
I sent Larry mine, so I think this is mine.
Okay,
yeah,
these are yours?
Yeah, these are mine.
Okay, so I sent in Max. You send in the real standings because yours are right.
Yeah, Max is like computer and stuff, so these are like more with a little more personality.
Yeah,
per
this
se.
has pizzazz. This has the truth. This has that human element from you.
No, that's
All
what. Yeah, that's
Bosco on top, no surprise.
Yeah, there. Sierra Canyon 2, Centennial 3. Although I think you could switch. You know, the Centennial, Mission Viejo, Santa Margarita. You could put them in any order, and it like really wouldn't matter. But the 2 at the bottom, I think, you know, Lusinger and Corona Del Mar. I just felt, hey, 9-0. They got good quarterback play. They're playing good football, and other teams are losing. Like Marietta Valley lost, Los Alamitos lost. So it's like, hey, man, you got to reward the teams that are winning, and Lusinger and Corona Del Mar are doing that. They are winning football games.
Lusinger 7-1. You mentioned them before. They're playing good football. All right, there are some perfect teams. I put down 10. There might even be more than that. But, again, we had the Western Christian team. But I just wrote them down. Bosco, Laguna Beach, Sierra Canyon, Crean, Lutheran, Crespi, Westlake, the Western Christian team that I'm on the bandwagon now. On Oxnard, the Pacifica team, Corona Del Mar, and Rio Hondo Prep. Any thoughts on any of those?
Yeah, I think there's a couple other random ones too. I think like Palm Springs is 10, and there's a couple other little small schools. But anyway, look, I think it's quite an accomplishment. Look, I think in the grand scheme, Randy, you never, and I think coaches or players would be lying, you never come into the season thinking, I want to go 10-0. You don't, that's not really a goal. Your goal is to win league, win a CIF championship. And en route to those goals, if you can accomplish going undefeated, winning league MVP, maybe breaking a school record or two, that's just kind of whipped cream on top. But it is not something that you set out to do. Be that as it may, congrats to those teams that have their undefeated record intact going into week 10.
All right, let's talk about the LA City section. They had their East LA Classic. It was the 90th version of the Classic.
Oh, that close game.
East LA College. Well, Roosevelt scored a couple late touchdowns. So a little window dressing. Garfield had the game in hand, but it is nice to see that Roosevelt tried to make it competitive at the end. It's really a good performance for them. Zastis Jaragi had 2 touchdown rushes for the winning Bulldogs, and it seems like every year Garfield wins this game. Let's move ahead. San Pedro over Gardena. The note here is that the quarterback, Seth Solario, for the Pirates, he's putting up huge numbers every week. He throws for 4 touchdowns. Braden Villegas had a long kickoff return, close to 100 yards for a touchdown for San Pedro as well, and they knock off Gardena. And the other game from the city I wanted to mention was Birmingham, which struggled with Granada Hills. And I know you're a Jim Rose guy and you think Birmingham's really good. This is kind of alarming if you're using your scoring.
Yeah, no.
Because you pick out and say, hey, this is the difference of one game over the other game. They only beat them by 10 and the other team beat them by 30. This Granada Hills team is not that strong, and yet Birmingham had a tough time.
Yeah, no, there's no question. And I think I've said this before, styles makes fights. Is that, and so maybe, hey, if you're a playoff team in the city and you know you're going to play Birmingham, I would get a hold of this Granada Hills film and see what really happened that night. Be that as it may, they're teenagers. You have an off night, but you still find a way to win, and that's what matters.
Let's take a look at the top 10. This is Max Preps' top 10 for the LA City section. Interesting, the game tonight is San Pedro against Carson. They've been flip-flopping the last few weeks on who should be number 1. Birmingham drops to 4. Pally's undefeated in the city section, and so forth and so on going down the line. Eagle Rock has really bounced back from a slow start this year. And King Drew down on the bottom is at 10. And Crenshaw out of the Coliseum League goes to 9.
Yeah, again, I think the only thing I'll say about these rankings is I just believe it's going to be Birmingham and Carson at the end of the day. Palisades will be in the mix and maybe give someone a run for their money. I think that's the team that maybe has the most chance to be, I don't know if you want to call them even a Cinderella. They're a top seed, so that wouldn't be Cinderella. It'd be more of a surprise if they knocked off of a juggernaut like Carson or Birmingham. Reason being, they just score a ton of points and their defense isn't that great, and I don't think they're that physical. So when you talk about Carson and Birmingham, boy, you're going to get knocked off the line a little bit. I don't know if Palisades is ready for that.
A little shout out here for a guy by the name of Christian Leslie. He plays for Hamilton High School. He had 10 receptions and a loss last week to Palisades. But he's up to 98 this year for the Yankees of Hamilton. That's a regular season LA City section record. So that's why he gets the shout out.
Yeah, I know Coach Elijah Asante is getting things going over there. I think I want to say they've lost like 3 in a row or 3 out of their last 4, something of that nature. So the Yankees are on hard times. However, in the city section, pretty much everybody makes the playoffs. So they will be a Division I contender.
Leslie with a great individual performance, and that takes us to other top performances this week in all of Southern California. We'll start with Byron Bell there, who had a nice effort for Monrovia in the win over San Marino. Julian Medina, Norco quarterback, we mentioned that game. Look at the numbers he put up in the loss to Centennial. That was the 59-49 game. Martinez, the DB of Vista Muriat. How about 2 pick sixes in the same game? You get 1, you're thrilled. How about 2? But those weren't the only great performances. There was some good ones in the city section as well. Chris Fields, the quarterback at Carson, 6 TDs in the win over Narbonne. Not a surprise, the Gauchos are down. I've seen Michael Gonzalez. This quarterback's really good at Southgate. You see the numbers in the air and on the ground. That's historic type numbers for one game. And there's Jack Thomas. He seems to be there every week, the quarterback at Palisades. over 400 yards and 7 more touchdowns in the win over the aforementioned Hamilton team.
Yeah, I think this late in the season, big performances are important. The wins are important. And it's nice to see your key players pouring in big-time performances before the postseason.
Here's a stunner in flag football in the LA City section. Wilson has got a good record. They're 23-1, so maybe it's not a stunner. They knocked off previously undefeated Eagle Rock by an 18-7 score. But what makes it so interesting,
I saw this, yeah.
the 3 games prior, Wilson had lost. This is unbelievable. The scores here are 62-0, 58-0, and 51-8, and yet they turned the tables on the Eagle Rock Eagles. All right, speaking of turn the tables, it's time for Point Counterpoint. And our subject today, who is the best coach currently going in high school football? Could be his career, could be this season. Tarek Fatah, who's your best coach in high school football?
There are certainly great coaches out there. The one I think of right now is Rio Hondo Prep's Mark Carson for taking a little program, you know, kind of neighborhood kids and winning CIF championships. So I want to give him a shout out, but my choice for you, it's got to be Jason Negro of St. John Bosco. A standard of excellence year in, year out. They seem to only lose to Mater Dei, if it happens ever. And other than that, they're in championship contention every year. Look, at Mater Dei's a little bit down this year. Who's still up? St. John Bosco. And that has a lot to do with Jason Negro, the culture he instills in those Braves players, and the development, the younger levels too, the health in the freshman program, the health in the JV program. So he's not just a great head coach, Randy, he's a great CEO, and that's what you need at these high-level programs.
That's a really good take, because I thought of Jason Negro on this subject matter. There's no question. I also thought of Jim Rose out at Birmingham. He's won 1 million championships as the head coach. He was an assistant on teams when Ed Croson was there, and they won 4 city titles. I think he's got about 8 or so, and he's won a flag football coaching championship as well. That's Jim Rose at Birmingham. But my number 1 guy has to be Matt Logan at Corona Centennial. He's been there nearly 30 years. He just picked up his 300th career victory. We can all do the math. That's 10 wins a year. That's pretty good. How about 10 CIF championships? How about state titles? How about All-Americans and pros? 22 of his players have gone on to the NFL. And he's just a lovable guy. But all right, there's Nickerson doing his thing. Outstanding run there from Austin Tillman. And this is that razzle-dazzle touchdown for Andre Nickerson.
SMU-bound big star receiver. The Chucky doll might be the highlight of the night.
That was right up there, and they didn't penalize him for it either. Hahn with a dart, and Moore with a brilliant spin move to score. Healy Moore.
It was a great answer for Culver when they really needed one to keep the game close. That was one of the planes that almost hit us, and then they went deep for the bomb.
They did. A walk-in touchdown, easily done. And here's another Moore near miss. That was great defense on Haley, who thought he was interfered with. Had to love his reaction. There's the Christopher touchdown. Christopher McKay, yeah. Another near pick, that one by Keelan Carter. I love this highlight package, and this is the most art form we saw all night. Punt straight up, straight down, and a touchdown for Bryant. And this is the touchdown to the slot back, Williams, Andre Williams.
And that's what put it at 28-21 Englewood.
Welcome back to Halloween. A freakish and scary first half, and we enjoyed every second of it. Randy Rosenblum, Chuck Price, LA36 crew. Glad you're with us on the NFHS network as well. And this is a big one in the Bay League. Again, Culver City 1-3 in the league. Inglewood 2-2. So obviously, if Culver City can win it, they would have identical league records with the Sentinels, and they would have the tiebreaker head-to-head.
Randy, when you look at the winner of this game possibly being Englewood, starting with them, Division 4?
Division 3. If they lose, I think they drop to 4. That's just my opinion. There's no guarantees on anything. The way they line it up gets fairly complicated, and I'll let Tariq Fatal work out those numbers. He's good with that and figuring out, you know, the chemistry and how it all works out. So we'll find out Sunday where everybody's going to be, what divisions and where they're going.
And Saturday night for the city section.
Well, we know where we're going. We're going to the back half with Inglewood and Culver City, and Inglewood is kicking off. Rivas hits it deep.
Ball fielded at the 20.
And the return for Forte. And again, Inglewood with tremendous coverage getting downfield. They cover their kicks as well as anyone we've seen.
They're athletic. They get downfield fast. And again, we've always spoken about the lane integrity. And if you can run downfield in your lane and not converge into one singular spot on the ball, it gives the return guy nowhere to go to. And that's what we're seeing with Inglewood. Well done special teams by Inglewood.
What do the Centaurs need to do to block that defensive front, which was putting pressure late in that half on the very fine quarterback, Nicholas Hahn? How do they protect them in the second half?
They got to throw short screens, and when I say short screens, to tailbacks, in between the tackles, over the line of scrimmage, just shortly, because you need to slow down that pass rush. The only thing that's going to slow them down is the threat of the screen. Catching them on it a couple of times, having them be more cautious coming upfield.
Let's see what Hahn can produce. Quick throw to the near side, but because it was extending the receiver's ability to try to catch it, he fell down, and the ball was grabbed by Njoku, but he was leaning with his body toward the sideline, and all he could do is go to the ground, and there was nothing there. Couldn't hold his balance.
Nice job of play action on that play by Hong, and really fooled Miles Smith. And you know, strategically, that's a guy you really don't want to run to or throw to. You got to slow him down.
But it speaks to what you want to see, the quick passing game.
Yeah, you want these really dynamic defensive linemen to go slow. You want them to think about reverse. You want them to think about misdirection and screens, so they can't just pin their ears back every play.
Play just over a minute of this third quarter. 7-point lead for the Sentinels. Langston Wilson rocked as he was near the sideline. Another punishing hit from Robert Nobles. 22 is a hitter.
Great job at the middle linebacker spot. He covers so much ground. Really, really strong tackle.
Inglewood makes some noise.
3rd and 5. And it's been those quick passes to start here. The first 2 were thrown in a heartbeat. You can see Hong looking to the sideline and resetting Langston Wilson. Has 3 to his right. Another short pass. Moore with a great catch. He's going to be shy of the necessary yardage. This is some receiver. He can really catch the football, Harley Moore.
And they don't look like they're going to punt the ball here, Randy, at 4th and 3 from their own 35, 34 yard up. There they go.
Yeah, that would be rolling the dice a little bit too much. So here comes that punting unit. And Inglewood will 3-and-out early. That's a nice job. The punter here is Ramirez, George Ramirez, senior. He'll punt it away. It's a good stand by this Inglewood defense. 3 passes, all completed, and they still didn't pick up a first down.
So if you're flipping the question that you asked me, what do you do if you're Culver? What would you have done if you were Inglewood? And that's exactly what they wanted to do. This could be the first punt of the game for Culver City.
It will be, and Ramirez gets it away. It's a nice kick. And it'll be down at the 37.
Ball will be spotted at the 36.
I look for Inglewood to go deep, and I look for him to do it quick. And I think they want to. I think they'd like to take the will out of Culver, take away the fight. And I don't know that they're going to quit down 2 touchdowns, but I think Inglewood's strategy is strike fast and do it deep.
Well, there's so much at stake here for Culver City. Inglewood has a probability, even if they lose, they'll get in because their schedule and some of their wins. For Culver City, a loss could leave them out in the cold, and it could be the end of the year. So they have tons to play for. It's not a guarantee. They still could get in with a loss, but it would be very dicey to say the least.
Bay League teams are punished by being in the Bay League. It's a hard one to win in.
Hands the ball off.
Tillman out to the 38-yard line.
A gain of a couple. Second down.
That's how they started the game, right? Featured Tillman, soften up the line of scrimmage, gain some yardage, and then they slung it all over the place.
Austin Tillman averages 5 yards a carry. He's a wide receiver at times for this team, but tonight he's in the backfield. Their star running back, Samaje Welch, only in there for 1 series of downs. He's been banged up.
Defense, 5-yard penalty.
And if you're Culver, you can't give away yards like that.
No, I don't even think he was in the ball game. He just looked up, and next thing you know, he's 4 yards deep in the backfield, and not quite sure what he was looking at on that play.
Now you give Inglewood a down where they can do anything. It's second and a short 2. You can throw it, you can run it. Maybe they'll take a shot here, knowing they can pick it up on 3rd down. Nope, they will hand the football off. That's great defense. Well, give Culver City some credit. Leading in charge was Damarian Boyd, and there was no chance for Tillman on that occasion. Boyd, number 13, got in there in a hurry, and he had help as well from Jalen Galloway.
Galloway's a good-looking football player.
3rd down, still 2 needed.
Only a junior Galloway. That's a great young football player. As this game has gone on, Lincoln John has impressed me. Every play he gets something he does, and I'll tell you after this play.
Up the middle, Tillman has 1st down yardage across the 50 to the 49 of Culver City.
He is very into the game. He looks around after the handoff. He looks around after the pass. He's a student of the game who's going to go and start to give suggestions to coach, in my opinion, based on what he's seeing. He's always surveying the field, and he's got a good feel for what he's trying to do. He's a leader on that field.
Like you mentioned, Lincoln John only a sophomore. High IQ, this quarterback. Protected beautifully, and he's airing it out. He has targets out there, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line. And bringing it in for Englewood was Brandon Crawford.
Everybody was wide open on that play. He had a ton of time, always had the ball ready to go. Not much of everything fundamentally looked great. He throws a nice ball.
How often do you get 2 receivers available like that? Donovan Randolph is in the area as well.
Like I said, he had his pick.
1st and goal, Inglewood, and they have diagrammed a beautiful drive, and you couldn't have mapped it out any better if you're Milvon James. Your defense gets a 3 and out. Your offense comes right down the field and looks elite.
Yeah, a couple of runs, soften it up a little bit, then you start to throw the ball and you throw it deep. That's pretty much what we thought might happen.
Nickerson lined up in the backfield, number 1. He's already got 2 touchdowns tonight. 1 running, 1 catching. And they directly snap it to Nickerson. And the big fellow, Andre Nickerson, tough to bring down, gets inside the 5, but he took a hit there.
Step the quarterback over behind the guard. Slid your best football player, Nickerson, over behind center, and you're in the Wildcat, and you try and not let them see what you're doing. And they, unfortunately, Culver City saw what they were doing.
He's so versatile as Andre Nickerson. He's just so talented, defensive end, offensive tight end. Again, he's in the Wildcat. It's Nickerson. There he goes. His 3rd touchdown of the night for Andre Nickerson. Touchdown, Englewood, and we have a late flag probably for celebrating, right? Or taunting, something of that nature. The touchdown stands. That's 3 tonight. The trifecta
after the play
for Nickerson.
Counts.
On the offense.
Don't these players know it's Halloween and we want to get out of here at a reasonable time?
Well, I think by the time you get back, the trick-or-treaters will be gone, Chuck.
Yeah. Again, I'm going back to the hospital. I'm looking to see my grandson.
Bring candy.
Do you think if he's 9 hours old, I can give him candy?
Why not?
Okay.
What do I know? I'm hardly a doctor. There's your holder. That's Mason Harvey, a backup quarterback here at Englewood. The kicker is Alexander Rivas.
called out on senior night tonight with his family.
He was a proud young guy, wasn't he?
This is a great place for football. Never been, well, that's a lie. I've been here before.
You want to clarify that? Rivas's kick is no good. It was partially blocked. First you said you've never been here. Now you say you have been here.
When I was a junior at Hamilton High School in 1980, our opening game we played here against Inglewood High School. Our quarterback was Ricky Green, and this was Sentinel Field, and Sentinel Field was a combination of grass and dirt, and I think it was lit by candles and car lights. But it was a great environment, and it still is. Just looks a heck of a lot nicer.
And they're working on this stadium. This turf is about a year and a half old, so that's one of the phases. And I like the press box. It's old. It's perfectly situated. We're right on the 50-yard line. Great lighting in the press box. But I think you could use a paint job or maybe a facelift. There's the touchdown of Nickerson, his third. Again, we're on all the platforms tonight. LA36, YouTube, NFHS. Tremendous game in the Bay League where Lusinger is going to win the league. They're the league champions this year. They've had a great year.
Last night, our viewing audience almost eclipsed the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins.
It may have.
The football fans around the country are tuning in to listen to Randy Rosenblum.
Why not?
The doctor.
Here's the return for Wazo, and he's belted down. That was a nice shot put in there by Noah Clark. He's been active on the specialty units for Inglewood tonight. So it's the Centaurs' turn. They're down again by a couple scores. They were down 21-7 and wiped that deficit away. They caught up to 21, and then we've seen Inglewood get the last two touchdowns, so we know Culver City is capable.
It doesn't have to be done quickly. It just needs to be done a little better than the last drive. Pick up a couple of more yards.
Well, they didn't get a first down.
Yeah, they need to get 4 to 5 yards of completion, not 2 to 3.
We'll start from their 45, so the field position is very good.
Drops back to pass.
Hahn has room. Nice run by the quarterback of Culver City. Give him a gain of 7.
A gain of 6.
Tucks the ball away, picks up great yards for first down. If you could tell the coordinator you're going to get 6 yards every time on first down, he's going to call that play.
I like this guy. He just throws such an accurate ball and good feet, capable runner, but he better handle the ball better than that, and that's disaster. They turn it over, and on it immediately was Miles Smith, that game wrecker. Smith, another big play for Inglewood.
And you look at the quarterback, and the first thing he does is he puts his head down, and he's looking for the mesh in the exchange, and he's moving his eyes off the ball before he gets it, and that's got a lot to do with that pass rush. That's what that monster does.
Intimidation.
You got to always think about it.
But after a compliment like that, and he picked a bad time to make the mistake, and Miles Smith takes advantage, and he has been dynamic tonight.
We talked earlier in the first half about what playing against players like this in a defensive front like this does for the advancement of your career as a quarterback. He's not going to play against kids like that every week. I promise you that.
So an opportunity for Inglewood to put a stranglehold on this game.
Or dagger, as we'll call it, as Steph Curry would.
Pass to the sideline, and there is room. And another big play for the Inglewood offense. Sentinels moving the football exquisitely here in the back half. Donovan Randolph with that nice gain. Good catch by Randolph, and he used the sideline well. Blazing speed.
Same play.
Again, positive yardage for Inglewood.
Second down.
That one was brought in by Mason Harvey.
I think Mason's their backup quarterback.
He is. Good gain there. Second and short. Inglewood looking to break it open. And they run the football with Watson. Marlon Watson, the junior running back, and he's blasted at the point of attack. Nothing there. Breaking through was Derek Clark Saya, 42 again. He's had a stellar game for Culver City.
A lot of man coverage from Culver City over here. They're not going to empty that box. They're going to make them throw the ball. They're man coverage on this trip set over here, and they're over there on the boundary one-on-one as well.
Milvin James, who was a running back in his heyday at Fremont.
Great defensive back as well.
He was. He's letting a lot of running backs get opportunities tonight. Here's a throw that's no good.
Incomplete. We have a flag on the play.
Marker down. Again, it was intended for Mason Harvey.
Holding. Holding. Offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Dwayne, you don't have to apologize. You got the call right.
You notice the difference in athleticism between the guys on the offensive line from Englewood and the defensive linemen. The defensive linemen are cat quick, great feet, great motor. They're really athletes. The offensive linemen, they're more thinkers, plotters, a little heavy, pair-bottomed, really sturdy at the point of attack. Need to get a little bit more work on moving their feet. That way they get eliminated from some of those holding calls.
Third down, Sendos.
There they are. The big hogs up front, they used to call them. No more. They're in shape. Everybody works out in the weight room. Third down and long. Culver needs a stop. John goes underneath, and he's got his receiver. And coming down the field is Marlon Watson. First down for the Sentinels.
Great poise in the pocket, although this is coming back on a hold.
Another break.
Great poise. Ball up, ready to throw. He waits. He slides up in the pocket. Boom, delivers. Great job. Great patience. It's coming back, but the third and 20 for them is not unmakeable. That's 4-down territory.
This Marlon Watson's coming, the third running back tonight we've seen for Inglewood. He's given a little bit of a spark.
On the offense, number 73, 10 yards, still third down.
Well, they have 2 downs to pick it up.
You look at the defensive front for Culver City, and they look more like skill players, right? They're 6 foot, 200 pounds, 190 pounds. Really good athletes, good feet, and they're tough to block.
Ball taken back outside the 40.
Got to move your feet, big guys.
Spotted at the 41-yard line. Got to reach near the 20 to get the first down. Need about 21 yards. Quick one over the middle. The short pass. And they pick it up, or very close to it, right near the first down marker. And again, it's number 6 this time that brought it in. That's Noah Clark. It's 4th and less than 1. He needed 21. He got 20 and a half, Clark.
Nice slip screen call. Got lost behind those big bodies.
Culver City dearly needs a stop here. Number 12, Marlon Watson in that backfield. He's been very good. Do they dare throw it on 4th and 1? He's looking for Watson, who circles out of the backfield, and it's Marlon Watson with another big play.
I love what we're seeing this half out of Lincoln John. He sees exactly where he's going with it. He knows it right away. Boom.
Right on the numbers.
Gives him a pass he can handle and run with. And like I said, he's looking at an offense with 4 and 5 receivers. It's not as easy as it looks. A lot of pre-snap work, and really like where he's coming. He's getting some great coaching from that staff, obviously.
Ways of pushing him out of bounds, saved a touchdown. It looked like Watson was going to take it the distance. First and goal.
Hands the ball off.
Right up the middle, inside the 5. They're doing a nice job of keeping these running backs fresh. Coming back in is Austin Tillman, rotating the running backs. This way they have great energy when they come in.
They're little bitty guys. They get pounded. I don't think it's wise to let them carry 8, 10, 12 times in a row. Love what Milvan's doing over there. Coach James really understands keeping these guys in good football shape and helping them out as developing bodies.
Tillman again. Not quite to the goal line. Inside of 3 minutes to play in the third. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Brett Stye would be very, very happy if he were watching this game. He'd love to see the kids that he's getting exposure for. When you talk to Eric Sonheimer this week on your show, I'd love you to ask him what he had against Milvan James, why he attacked Hawkins High School when they weren't really doing anything more than the other great schools were doing.
John to the air. He's looking to throw for the touchdown. Guess who comes up with it? You're right. It's Andre Nickerson. He scored again. 4 touchdowns for Andre Nickerson. 2 on the ground, 2 in the air.
And the 2 in the air came from a very poised sophomore quarterback who, again, puts the ball right on the money.
Your brother is very proud.
And the score suddenly has erupted to 40-21. Inglewood starting to put it on Culver City.
Randy, we talked about a potential score before this game, and we were bantering about maybe 42-21 Englewood would be what this score would look like.
Well, the kick is away, and the kick is missed again, and it remains 40-21. Culver City's going to have to get busy with 2:16 left in the third. Let's go back to the touchdown. John with a perfect dart to Nickerson. Touchdown number 4 for Andre.
It's an explosive football team. They're doing this without their starting running back. It's the schedule that they've played, and Culver City is a very, very good football program, a very well-coached team. But again, we talk about the Bay League and the teams that Englewood played in the non-league, Lincoln of San Diego, and maybe on senior night they came out a little bit flat. Maybe this isn't their best effort, but they're 3 touchdowns ahead of a good football team. That's quality coaching.
Of course, when I think of Culver City, you got to go back many years to the great Billy Parks, the late great Billy Parks. Played in the NFL for the Chargers and the Cowboys. Parks was sensational at Culver City, wide receiver, born in Santa Monica. 6'1" wide receiver. Again, excellent coverage. You know what's interesting about Billy Parks' career before he went to the NFL? He played at Long Beach State, which no longer has a football program. Back in the good old days, he played for the Chargers and Cowboys. I mentioned that. The Houston Oilers, who was on the NFL All-Rookie team back in the 70s. Going back a lot of years, what a great NFL player he was. Billy Parks, and that's the greatest player perhaps out of Culver City High School.
You are a football encyclopedia, because I would have hit you with linebacker Shane Cox, the defensive coordinator at Santa Monica College, former city champion coach at Fairfax High School. Yes, and now athletic director at Fairfax.
Yeah, Shane Cox is a good football player and was an excellent coach for a long time.
He really wasn't that great of a football player.
He was okay, but he was not Billy Parks.
Yeah, I was just teasing, and it's your knowledge that I was teasing. It's unbelievable.
Billy Parks is legendary at Culver City. Another whistle. Another foul, apparently.
I'm sorry, before the snap, the black player did not have his mouthpiece in his mouth. We had to send him off the field to get proper equipment.
All right, thank you for the explanation. So it isn't a penalty. Thank you, Dwayne Harris. I like it when they break it down for us.
And they don't penalize the kid. It wasn't intentional. It was a mistake. It had no factor on the play. Thank you for explaining it, and thank you for not calling it a flag.
Hong picked off. Inglewood making all the plays. And they'll have another opportunity. That was a great break on the football, and the interception from Chase Wesley, who has been spectacular in the secondary tonight for Inglewood. Take a bow, Chase Wesley.
It really was just a great break on the ball. It's not that he telegraphed it. It's not that he didn't throw it well enough. He just was beaten by great coverage on that. And you could see right there, great coverage, great read, great feet, and an unbelievable break. If they were throwing against air, that ball's right where it needed to be, and it was thrown when it needed to be thrown. Defense won that.
Inglewood will take over at the 33 of Culver City, looking to bust it wide open. Not that long ago, it was a 21-21 tie, but Inglewood's on a 19-0 run.
Well, they got Welch in a tailback, so I'm not 100% sure that they're not. So maybe they want to test him out.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but it could be a little dangerous. He's not 100%, but he's in there. Well, Milvon thinks he can go. He can go. Let's see what he does here. Welch is running hard. Look at that determination.
Well, I love it.
Montage.
He's got great drive, but more importantly, it keeps the clock running. And you know where I'm at. I like to move the game along. I don't think this game is quite over. It's not in the refrigerator. The Jello's not jiggling, but definitely like the clock running.
Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Thank you, Chick Hearn.
You're welcome, Dr. Randy.
Second down and 3 after Welch churns for 7.
40 and 21 equals 61.
Not quite the 125 we had last night. Another stoppage and the flag is out.
I do want you to ask Eric, because to me, I still don't know what Milvon James did wrong, other than having a lot of other people try.
To the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
But these transfers, like Elijah Asante at Hamilton, he attracts players. He doesn't recruit. He said players show up there and nobody cares. Milvon James is the same way. He attracts players. They came to Hawkins. You took a school in the inner city of LA, turned it into a powerhouse, and people start pointing fingers. And no, we don't want those kids to be successful.
I will ask that for you. Well, they're showcasing Welch. They want to, again, test him out here. And he's their star running back. Coming into this game, he has 1,077 yards, 9.3 yards a carry, 5 100-yard games this year for Welch.
I'm surprised we're seeing him. I'm glad we're seeing him. I want him to walk off this field healthy, but it's good to put eyes on him. He's a great, look at his legs. My goodness, like tree trunks.
Final half minute of the quarter, and Englewood in no hurry with a sizable lead. Play fake by John, feeling the pressure, and he's going to go down. That's great work from Jalen Galloway, 44. You've loved his effort all night long.
And it doesn't stop, and down 3 touchdowns, it's easy to quit. And this is what you want out of your football player. Beats the block. He's not going to let this guy throw the ball. Not on my watch.
Speaking of our watch, we're through 3 quarters, and after 3, it's Englewood 40. Culver City 21. The final 12 minutes are next. Stay with us. We'll see if Englewood pulls it out, stays ahead, or Culver City makes a dramatic rally. We'll be back after this. Tonight's prep game of the week on LA36 is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. It's Red West Pizza. By Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. And by our good friends at SOS Water Heater, the water heater experts.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, I hope you've been with us most of the night. I know the World Series was on and there's a lot of stuff going on. But Andre Nickerson here for Inglewood has 4 touchdowns. What a clinic he has put on, running it in for 2 and catching 2 touchdowns.
And coming off of last night's game where we thought we saw 4 or 5 great receivers, I'm not sure that he's junker, but he's not far off. He's a really good football player. He's going to SMU, and he'll play on Sundays if he can stay healthy.
You mentioned Junker. Jack Junker is the young man you're referring to, the junior wide receiver for Mission Viejo. He caught 13 passes against Los Alamitos for 293 yards and 3 touchdowns in our game last night.
I love the pace of that third quarter. I like being able to get through there without a whole bunch of delays.
Inglewood with it. Pass to the sideline. It's Welch dancing, trying to get to the first down. In fact, it may not be Welch. Again, those numbers are deceiving. I think it's Donovan Randolph who made the catch. Now we have a young man with a leg cramp. Now, they're not serious injuries, but they are painful. You need to get liquid in there, and you need to stretch that leg. You ever get leg cramps? I used to get a lot.
You know what, Randy? You don't want me to talk about snoring. I'm not going to talk about
leg cramps are more. Well,
no, because
more
I get them late at night because I'm getting old.
The players don't snore on the field, but they do get leg cramps.
These kids are in the best shape of their lives. They have barely an ounce of muscle, and they cramp up. I don't get it. But I will tell you what. I'm excited about the third quarter moving so quickly because I'm excited to get to the hospital and see Alyssa Price and my new grandson. That stuff's great.
You've only
Randy.
mentioned that about 30 times. That's Derek Clark Saya who is being stretched out, and you can see why he's cramping up. He's one of the young guys for Culver that's been over covering a lot of ground tonight for the Centaurs.
So let's finish up on the city section. You know, a guy like Brett Stye wraps him a gift and says, I want to put all these kids on TV, and I want to showcase that the city is worth fighting for. And the city starts to make noise. And Eric Sonheimer doesn't like Milvon James, so he brings down the program at Hawkins. And he doesn't like Eric Scott, who's a phenomenal coach and turned around the program at LA High School. And now he's done it at West LA College. But Eric didn't like the way he did it, so we throw stones at them. John Aguirre at Carson, he got a lot of transfers, but nobody wanted to look underneath the hood of his car. And you know what? Schools get transfers. Palisades High School's got the best receiver in the state. He showed up at Palisades High School. Nobody looks under the hood. Why did Eric pick on them? Why did he go so hard after
Chuck,
Narvon?
I think you're missing your flight.
Oh, that flight's coming right at us. Yeah. So I'm glad.
I love, by the
so
way,
Brett Stye, I love that you're giving these kids the opportunity because this is a gift. TV for high school kids in the city of LA. We thank you. Thank you for your support.
Low snap again. Hong able to field this one and dart up field, but he's in trouble.
Guess who?
I know who it is. There's a flag out, and it's Miles again, who's been phenomenal here. 54, Miles Smith. That young man, what a future he has. He's a junior.
Personal foul, face mask.
He did get him by the
54
mask
black
off.
defense.
But Miles Smith, you just look at the numbers on him. Miles Smith is 6'3" and 287, so he's got size. Here's a guy that's got an NFL body.
Yeah, and he
We have
gets
a
called
5-yard face mask on defense, number 54.
He only got 4 fingers in there. It should have been a 80% face mask. But if you're Hong and the play call comes in, it's a pass, and you still have Miles Smith in there and coming off of the other edge, you still got Mouton. It's not a pleasant thought. Let's run the ball. Let's get these guys in retreat mode. They're pinning their ears back. It's a safety issue.
Out of the gun for Hong, and you see movement again.
Well, it wasn't Mouton and it wasn't Smith.
Officials will confer.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty.
41 years for Dwayne. Pretty good. 41 years he's been doing this.
I don't see anybody moving on offense. Oh, well. You know what we said? Just don't call it if you don't see it. There's no
I
mistake.
agree with you. I didn't see any movement at all. So that takes 5 yards away from
and the
Culver.
The clock's not running.
Draws back to pass.
Hong stepping up. He has running room, and he'll slide down. It was a very good slide. Remember earlier tonight he slid short of the first down on third down, and he was a yard short, but he picked it up on the fourth down sneak. That time he just took what was available. Wasn't going to get the first down anyway, but he did a nice job of coming upfield.
What a great way to develop a young quarterback playing against a team like this. Last game of the year, and they've played great teams all season long.
Draws back to
Hong.
pass. Complete.
Langston Wilson circling out of the backfield across the 40. That'll keep the clock going. That'll make Chuck very happy.
Why?
Over there to make the stop. I know you want to see your grandson. Ira Cordova was over there. I'm going to get that name in. I'm still pulling for Ira to be your grandson's name.
Alyssa, we got to go with IROC.
Yeah. I may come to the hospital with you and see if you can convince her.
Could we name him IROC? IROC
Prior to the
Randy
snap.
Silver.
False start. Offense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards.
I think IROC Silver. Don't worry about the officiating, Chuck. I think IROC Silver sounds pretty good. It's like,
what do you think of Alyssa
I-O
Price?
Silver.
You know what? I'm gonna talk to Alyssa and Scotty tonight. I want my grandson to be named IROC Silver with a little bit of Miles Smith. Miles Smith is Mebane. He's just got a different body type.
Explain who Mebane is.
Mebane was a NFL defensive tackle, one of my clients, Crenshaw High School, Cal Berkeley. Just one of the better defensive linemen to ever come out of LA. A game changer.
Draws back to pass.
And there's Mebane.
There's your guy again.
There's Mebane.
Miles is at it again. 54, Miles Smith bidding on tonight's performance to go into the Inglewood Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Mebane is the acronym for. Oh, yeah.
You like the nickname, the Wood?
Yes.
On the helmet?
Yeah. Well, it all started with the Shaw. Everybody had to become the something. The Lou. The Lou. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Lou Lusinger, they're the Lou. And
I thought you were talking about Orange Lutheran.
I'm thinking about Lou Wasserman. I mean, who's the Lou?
I don't know. You brought it up.
Yeah, you brought up the Wood. I said it's the Shaw. And then we threw out all the Lou's.
4th and 8.
Draws back.
Pressure. No chance. Coming through was Sorrell Howard, the Stanford commit. Stanford commit Howard with his 8th sack of the year.
He's been quiet tonight. And maybe Culver City said, hey, let's give him everything we've got. But between Miles Smith. Oh.
Defense, number 2, 10-yard penalty.
So there's an Inglewood penalty.
Defensive holding.
We have a penalty on the
That was a
play.
4th down play, by the way, so it would have gone over on downs, but the hold is going to wipe out this sack.
It looks like our guy who got the sack on that play, the unbelievable Howard going to Stanford, was tackled, but they called a hold on the defense. And I know being critical of the referees is not good, so I'm not going to say anything. And that should say it all.
Chuck Price not saying anything would be a rare day.
Look, when the referees take over, they give me the opportunity to be me, and that is something you and the production team does not want to hear, I know.
Well, we like you because you know the game. You're obviously opinionated, and that's what your role should be. We don't want just a mundane guy in the second chair.
Yeah, no, we don't even sit. Could you imagine that? Just look at the indecision and the conversation and what's going on. And
I'm in no hurry.
I'm in a hurry. This game is too long. Call it.
You never know, though. Culver City could come back. There's still 10 minutes to play.
Alyssa Price said it's a no on IROC with an emoji that thinks she's laughing, but she could be crying.
So you're doing a running play-by-play on what name your daughter's going to name your grandchild. That's a little bit different. You don't get that anywhere else. 40-21, and they're still deliberating. We're going to see what the call is.
We might not.
We're going to see it. We
They
may
might
not hear it.
They might just spot the ball and blow the whistle with no explanation.
Well, the ball's at the 41-yard line.
This has a good LA City section feel to it.
I think the holding was on Culver. I think they may have made a mistake on which team they signaled it to, and I think the ball belongs to Inglewood. And if that's
you're wrong as can be. You and I are 100% correct. The referees got it wrong, and they've given Culver a first down.
Yeah, they have. So it's Culver that's going to scrimmage from the 41. I thought they were going to give it to Inglewood.
I would probably like to text Coach James at this point and say, when you get the ball back, could you just take a knee, because they probably could not call a penalty on that. So the defensive line for Inglewood, best we've seen all year, and it's not even close. And we've seen some really good football teams.
Well, we get to see Miles Smith 54 off the edge, and I like that, because he's unblockable and he's coming after the quarterback again. That's complete. Kai Dawson brought it in, but he had no chance. He was hit as he received the football, and he was nailed hard by Charles Finley. Finley's another young player, another junior for Englewood. They are just stacked, loaded with talented guys.
And this is a challenge when they say, don't look, you're not supposed to look at that, don't look, it's going to hurt your eyes, and you look at it anyways. That's like Miles Smith. He's hard not to watch on every play, because the guy gives it his all.
2nd and 5.
Draws back to pass.
Culver City throws it, and it's dropped into and out of the hands of William Forte. Might have taken his eye off the football there, anticipating getting hit.
It's the time of the game where you have a 3-touchdown lead on defense. You're playing loose, and you're really looking for the kill shot. I hate to say it, but that's when the game is in your hands. You're not playing with any stress, any restrictions. You're just letting it be.
3rd down.
Well, they would go for it on 4th if they don't convert here, one would imagine, but they do convert. Big pitch and catch, and that was much needed. And bringing it again is K. Dawson. K. Dawson it is. Dawson with a big-time catch over the middle.
Really a nice job on that play.
Culver trying to get back into the football game.
Draws back.
Hong again.
Pass is complete.
Catch by Forte. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 20. Finally wrestled down by Robert Noble.
So let's talk about Hong. 3 plays ago, he takes a snap off the turf and moves the ball. He stands in there, pressure's coming. Guess who? Puts the ball right on the money. He's growing every snap as a quarterback by playing against this type of competition, and he stays in there. He's tough as nails, and obviously he's a great leader.
They need to score quickly with 8 minutes left. Hong to the end zone. Got his man. Great throw. Great pitch and catch. Harley Moore's 2nd touchdown of the night.
Take my hat off to that young quarterback. A great throw, but his ability to stay in there after the hits he takes, the pressure he's receiving, I love what's in store for him.
There's life for Culver City. You get the ball to Harley Moore, you got a chance, because if it's in his area code, he's good enough, large enough to make plays, win the 50-50 balls, got great hands, tremendous talent. Perez for the PAT.
Perez says we need one more.
Yep, can't do it with 10. You need 11 out there. And that's Mateo Jarege coming in.
Centaurs for the extra point.
And that one is cleanly through. And suddenly it's a 12-point game. It's doable, but the Centaurs are going to need stops. Let's go back to the touchdown pitch. Hong to Moore. I love his size as a receiver, and he's got great hands. Harley Moore.
He high points the ball. He doesn't wait for it to drop into his chest. He gets his arms extended, high points it, and that's what coaches want to see. It's the effort. It's catching the ball at its highest point. Too early for an onside kick, right, Coach Randy?
I don't know. I don't think it's ever too early. It's just if you feel like you can execute it, it's so tough nowadays with these teams so well coached up to defend against the onside kick. But I don't know. I'm not against trying it.
You have to. You have to stop Englewood 2 times in a row. Not an easy task. 8 minutes to go. Put it on the ground, roll the dice, do the onside kick. Englewood's expecting it.
Well, Chuck, we've had a good weekend. At least Thursday and Friday has been a lot of fun doing these football games. 2 high-scoring battles.
I like hanging out with you. I think I like hanging out with you a lot more than you like hearing me for 4 quarters. Randy, you're the best. You've been everywhere we go. They're, hey, Randy. Guys are yelling up in the press box, and then you yell back.
They're saying, hey, Candy, it's Halloween. I want candy, not Randy.
The guy says, Randy, you always bring me luck. That was the coach last night. He said that 10 times.
Here's Perez, and here is the onside kick. Takes that bounce, and it's picked up. And for Englewood, it's Nobles bringing it back down the other way. Robert Nobles. It took the perfect bounce for Nobles to field it.
And you kick the ball into the hands of the middle linebacker. And the middle linebacker is 6'1", 200 pounds.
With great speed.
With great speed. And he catches the ball with a full head of steam. And then you ask your 121-pound kicker to bring him down. I would say the execution on that play wasn't what we wanted, but I love the idea. There was no way you could not try that.
Suddenly, Inglewood set up at the 25 of Culver City.
Coach Jamal Wright, you did the right thing. That was a good call. And it was a good call on the everything about it, just the one last bounce to the wrong guy.
Drives back.
John, the deep ball. It's intercepted. Culver City's back in the football game with this pick. Jesse Gramajo. And Gramajo has given life to the Centaurs.
And is that not the cornerback that they've been picking on all game long? And he puts his head down. He keeps his head in the game. He doesn't give up. Take my hat off to that kid. Great job, Jesse.
Kind of love the resolve of this Culver City team. Their season really in many respects hanging in the balance. They don't know if they'll make the playoffs. If they lose, they got to make plays, and they make a big one here.
Just a great play, and they pick up the culture from their coach. It's Coach Wright. He builds a program. This is not a team. They're part of a program.
And he says his team is maturing, and we're seeing that maturity here tonight. Not going away easily. Now let's see if they can execute against Miles Smith, 54 and company off the edge.
You got to move a tailback over here. You have to double team Smith. You got to take your chances on the other side of the ball one-on-one.
Yeah, you got to chip him if you got a back in there that wants to block. There goes Smith again, and Hong has no chance.
Randy, I was a former coach, and I probably wasn't a good one. But I'm going to double team that guy, or I'm throwing my whistle in.
Now, Mouton got the sack, but it was Miles Smith that made the play. He totally broke down that pocket. 54 is a menace.
And if Mouton's the third best pass rusher on that team, that's a pretty good defensive line. He's athletic.
That 54 guy right there is a man-child. This is a highlight reel for him. 2nd and 16. Here he comes again, nearly engulfs the quarterback. That's a good throw, though. Hong hanging in there in the pocket, finding more.
Because he's so versatile, Smith, he could play down, like I said, in the 3 or even the 1. But as a stand-up end, he's really unblockable for that one-on-one left tackle or right tackle that weighs 200 pounds because he just bull rushes.
That was a magnificent throw by Hong under duress. 3rd down and 7. Culver City obviously needs to pick it up, and that's no good.
Incomplete.
Wanted to go to Dawson, and it's 4th down. Defending on the play was Alan Wilson, who's made some big plays tonight for the Sentinels. Fourth down, they're obviously going to go here. They don't have time to kick it away at this junction.
Alan Wilson was a big part of our pregame, right? We focused in on him.
We did.
You called it out, talked to the coach, and that was the one you went with. Good call.
Well, it's fourth down. Whatever special play Culver City has, it's time to utilize it. Don't want to give the ball right back to Inglewood. You want to take advantage of that interception. Big fourth down play. The deep ball for Moore. Broken up at the last instant. That was a terrific defensive play by IROC Cordova.
You heard it, Alyssa. That's the sign. It's IROC Silver. Great throw. Really was a great throw. And the one thing he didn't, that was just great defense.
That's IROC.
Yeah, that really was great defense.
We have a penalty on the field. Holding on Inglewood.
Another penalty against Inglewood, and that'll give the Centaurs a first down. That's the second time that they would have turned the ball over. That Inglewood was detected for holding.
They gave such a nice tribute to Dwayne Harris before the game, because after a lot of years of service, this was his last game. 41 years of service. And he called that hold on him.
That might have been a good call. Couldn't tell. Hong from behind goes down. Never saw Mouton.
And he pulls himself off the rug. But that's not going to be the last hit. They're pinning their ears, and you got to have a clock in your head. Run or get rid of it. You know
never
they're
saw
coming.
him, Chuck. You never saw him. Never knew. You got to hear the footsteps, don't you?
You just have to know that if you're past 3 seconds against these guys, you need to get rid of the ball or take off. Have the clock in your head. This isn't pass league. This is your own safety.
We have a flag on the play.
Of course we do. Another flag on the play.
You break me up. I got it. Well, they're conferring again. And the Englewood players want an explanation what they're doing wrong here. That's Mouton and saying, wait a minute, you're taking all these sacks away from me.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, they're giving life to Culver City with
See a
these
first down.
mistakes, these penalties. You know, if Culver City sticks it in the end zone here, we got an interesting last few minutes.
Well, that would be another hour at this rate.
First and 10.
Could change the complexion of the whole season the last 6 minutes for Culver City. Well, they're 44 yards away from really making it a very tantalizing latter stages of this football game. Not sure what the holdup is here.
Culver City has a middle screen. This is the time you want to run it. Keep the ball in between the hash marks. Offset that pass rush. Let them come. Let them come. And then drop it over them and see if that can slow them down on the next few pass plays.
Number 9, Harley Moore is the guy they're going to target deep. They want more. Literally, they wanted more. The double team breaks it up, and another marker is down. And the natives are restless here in the stadium, not happy with what's going on with these markers.
I'm with them.
There's a buzz here at the stadium. Let's see if it's interference.
Personal foul, pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty.
IROC Cordova.
Nope.
15 yards in prep football, but it brings it a lot closer down to the 28-yard line. What do you think? Is it an interference?
The call would have been face guarding. It's not a personal foul and it's not pass interference. If you don't make a play on the ball, that was face guarding. But just get the call right.
First down. Moving out of the pocket is Hong. He has yardage in front of him, and he slides down with another first down. And Culver City is very much alive here.
It's going to get tough for them to score as they push the ball down to the 10-yard line. But they're where they want to be. They don't even attempt to run the ball, which will make this very difficult.
I love, though, the want-to of this young man. This guy wants to win, this Nicholas Hahn.
You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his body language. He continues to pick himself up off the dirt, and he's ready to go. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to be playing 4 years beyond high school.
They need 2 scores, though, in the final 5-10. So time is on the side of Inglewood.
Drops back.
Hong throwing it. He's got an open receiver near side. Langston Wilson is shut down. No, it's not Langston Wilson. It's 14. You're right. Christopher McKay.
Childhood friend of Lawndale quarterback Julian Galvez. If we can't tie our season together in one nice storybook, what are we doing it for? It's the memory of Brett Stye's LA36 football package. These tires, Red West Pizza.
Okay.
That's good pizza, by the way.
It is good pizza. 2nd down and 4. We had it at our first game at Narbonne. Little option here, and this is Langston Wilson at the 5. Head down, reaching for the goal line. He's close, but not quite there. What a great effort by Langston. He thought he had a touchdown. Not quite to that goal line.
Wow.
Got to get back in scrimmage here. Time's against them. There's the track star, runs the 100 and the 200. Jet speed of Langston Wilson.
What do you think about running option directly at Miles Smith? You get that call in the headphone, and you're Hong, and you're telling me to run right at Miles Smith and take the hit and pitch the ball. He's got that toughness.
Clock is running. Need to score. And they run it, and they run it in. Touchdown, Culver City, Demarion Boyd. And we have a 1-score game.
I suppose
40-34.
I said I didn't put the game in the refrigerator, but the Jell-O was jiggling.
See, tonight it's not the refrigerator. Since it's Halloween, you put this in the coffin.
But the coffin's not nailed shut yet.
It's not nailed shut.
They're not even in it anymore. They were in the coffin. Now they're out of the coffin.
40-34. Another big scoring outburst on our game of the week.
No, we have a stop in the action, and why am I not surprised?
Daniel Perez is the specialist on for the PAT. Does short field goals as well for this team. Culver City hanging around. Those penalties have really damaged Englewood here in the 4th quarter.
These referees love that microphone that TV gives them. You know that. They love it. It's cool.
Pounds that one through. 75 points to none. Well, there's some pressure on Englewood here.
Well, Jamal Wright, great job bringing your team back. See the influence you've had on the program. I love the ability for you to put your quarterback under center. I love quarterbacks under center. It changes the game. It's like running downhill. Timing is better. The ball's in the running back's hands quicker. The center can block better.
Both teams have their full complement of timeouts, remaining 3. If you're Englewood, you can't play it fast and loose now. You got to play smart football. You don't want to let a 40-21 advantage go by the board.
Well, when that Lincoln John, who I gave a lot of credit to throughout the night, and I continue to do so, bad pass, bad decision. You've got a 2-touchdown lead. You've got 5.5 minutes. Don't throw the ball into double coverage.
And you had field position. It was the 35 at that point of Culver City.
The coach called the play. The guy's not open. You don't have to throw it. You certainly don't have to throw it into double coverage. Hopefully a mistake that he will learn from, and he'll say, yeah, I don't want to hear that Chuck Price guy up in the booth talking about a bad decision. Yeah, no onside kick. No. Take it out of your bag of tricks, Coach Wright. Play defense.
Final 4 minutes will decide it.
Wouldn't be surprised if they put it on the ground, but I wouldn't go deep. There it
does put it on the ground. Scooped up. Good field position to the 38-yard line. Austin Tillman scooping it up. Well, here's the biggest possession of the season for these teams. The Wood will have it. Culver City, Jamal Wright's football team looking to make one dramatic stop and give that great quarterback another opportunity to come back down the field and maybe pull it out. A wild one in Inglewood, California tonight.
Did Englewood put in a new quarterback? I don't think that's Lincoln John. I think that's number, if I'm not mistaken, looks like number 10.
Hands the ball out.
Short gain. It is the backup quarterback Harvey in, and another marker.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Your thoughts on going to the backup QB late like this?
Well, I don't know if they're starting quarterback. I don't know if John's. Yeah, he's still on the sidelines, and I don't know if he's injured. He might have got blocked hard on that interception and got injured on that. If we had our sideline reporter, Jenna, get some inside information on that injury report. But
well, it's Mason Harvey is the guy they've gone to try to close out the football game.
He's got his ace in the backfield.
That's Welch trying to run wide, and he's not going anywhere. Thrown down by Jordan Njoku. Boy, this is a Culver City team. Njoku, number 10, leading the charge here. That's revved up. They know this is the biggest defensive sequence of the season.
I'd be surprised if Englewood didn't run 2 more times at him. I don't think there's a comfort level in the throwing game right now, especially what happened on the last drive on the interception. You know, I see John on the sideline. He seems to be standing right next to the coaches.
Yeah, they just pulled him. He threw the interception, so he's gone to the backup QB, and Mason Harvey looking to deliver a critical first down here with 3.5 minutes left. Well, the ball game's hanging in the balance, Chuck. We knew we'd have a good one here. Looked like Inglewood was going to break it open here in the second half, but some damaging penalties kept Culver City alive on drives, and to their credit, they capitalized.
Yeah, and Englewood, you know, bad last possession, but the penalties were. They've got Miles Smith in the backfield as lead blocker. It looks like.
Second out and 6. Being very deliberate, working that clock. Pressure again, and the quarterback is going to go down. Harvey had no chance, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. And the biggest play defensively this season for Culver City coming up with 2:40 to play. 3rd and 6. There's our temperature. This might be the coolest night we've had. It's down to 62. I like that.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Englewood take this play clock down all the way, burn one of their timeouts. And
timeout is called. 2:25 left. Well, this is the biggest play of the ball game. It's going to dictate whether Culver City has a real opportunity here to steal the game.
Well, they've got a great opportunity to steal the game regardless of what happens on this play, because they still have 3 timeouts, so they'll burn them all if they pick up the first down. I don't see Englewood picking up the first down. I think they really want to just play this one conservative and turn it over to their defense. Bringing John back in. Nope, still.
Mason Harvey has been the guy on this series of downs. The senior backup quarterback.
Here we go.
And John's a sophomore. Harvey's the veteran. It's 3rd down and closer to 7.5. So they need a nice chunk here. It's the reverse. It's Nickerson throwing the ball. What a catch by Harvey, the quarterback, and he gets the first down.
And he goes down in bounds. Wow.
What a play by Mason Harvey.
What a great call. That's what makes high school football great. That kind of play, that kind of call. Inglewood High School, well done. And the players executed that to perfection. One handoff, the reverse. Hey, it looks like a quarterback on the roll, follow through.
How about the catch by Harvey with everything at stake?
Did you think for a second that ball hit the ground when it was live? Great catch.
Harvey turns it upfield. There he goes. Mason Harvey taking down at the 28-yard line. But what a run by Harvey. Harley Moore finally got him to the ground.
That's a concussion. I'm not a doctor, but that was a tough, hard body slam, and his head went first. Put in a new quarterback and go victory formation. He really took a shot on that play.
How about his effort, though? You know, it's starting to look like it was going off the rails, and he's come in here and made some tremendous plays.
Yeah, I'd love to see him take a knee, not just to avoid this hit that he's going to take and the body slam and head slam that came with it, but protect the football, get on a knee.
How about Harley Moore playing both sides with that kind of effort? He's got 2 touchdowns on offense. So Culver City takes a timeout here with 1:15 left, but it's really kneel down time for Englewood, who's about to hold on, and that literally sums it up. They just held on with that Mason Harvey catch. I thought he was not going to be able to bring it in. He made a wonderful catch, maybe to save the Wood and give them the opportunity they want to go to the tournament.
And you see how close you are on the brink of disaster, the edge of it falling apart. He takes the snap, and 2 plays in a row he opens up the wrong way. He misses the play action. He turns the wrong way, but his athleticism salvages and pretty much ices the game with a little bit of ball control here. And these coaches, as you see Fig James looking into the huddle, it's they put him in there for a reason. They knew he was capable of doing things like that.
Well, they knew he's a veteran. Milvon James went to the senior, and the senior has given him a great moment on senior night. And it looks like, barring a mistake, it'll be Englewood that'll improve to 5-5 overall, but more importantly go to 3-2 in the Bay League, and Culver City's going to fall to 4-6 and 1-4 if this score holds.
Well, while the referees are still convening on the Englewood side, you know, just again going back to our conversations earlier in the week with Milvon James, the coach at Englewood. He asked Dr. James Morris and Bernadette Lucas, Dr. Lamar Collins, and Dr. Saba Araya for their continued support. He says they have helped, and they have put in the effort to trust him, to give him the support, to build this program into something special. This school will represent the city of Englewood, and it'll bring all kinds of positive notoriety. High schools run through their football program. Football wins set the tone for the school year in terms of morale. I love the vision of this administration and school district to support a coach like Milvon. He came from a situation where he was run out of town for bad things that he didn't do. Good for Englewood. You deserve this kind of quality football. And thank you, Brett Stye, for supporting our game of the week.
Just want to have ball security at this stage, and running and going all the way is Welch. There he is, this star, Samaje Welch, finally breaks loose in limited action tonight. There's the big-time running back, and he has his 8th rushing touchdown this year. Samaje Welch.
I love the run. I love not the idea of taking a knee. Sounded so easy to do. I would have done it. I would have done it because I want to get out of here and go to the hospital. But you ice the game. You play it safe. You take the knee. You go to victory formation. But I love to see the kids score. It's not like they're rubbing Culver City's nose in it. It was a 1-touchdown game. I don't have that kind of courage. I'm going to victory formation. So, again, hats off to Inglewood for a play
Timeout.
well called.
Offense.
Timeout taken by Inglewood. Have an 11-point lead here with 65 seconds left. And we got to see the brilliance of Samaje Welch. Again, over 1,000 yards this year. Let's take another look at his spectacular touchdown run.
Look at he's got a really point-to-point covered under his arm. He fights through the tackles. He goes to the two arms over the ball, continues to churn his legs. You see why they're so high on him. Good to see him celebrate with the big lineman. And, during the game we had, obviously there was quite a few holding penalties they were calling on number 73. And, well, guess what? He led him to the promised land and picked him up and put him on his shoulders and led the celebration. They got a big senior night victory at Englewood High against a very tough Culver City football team, and one that plays with a lot of pride. And I know that makes their coach happy because that's a reflection of Coach Jamal Wright.
Yeah, Jamal Wright does a good job. They're going to go for two here. Harvey throwing it to no one.
Incomplete.
So it'll remain 46-35.
46-35. Your Inglewood Sentinel.
They have a public address announcer here that gets really excited. I mean, he does like a running play-by-play, and he's yelling and screaming, trying to get the fans really into it. I guess he does a nice job, but we haven't heard a play-by-play guy on the PA like this before.
Yeah, he's into this game. He's should be in the booth with us. He'd be
No, that's okay.
It feels like he's in the booth with us.
Yeah, he's loud enough. It's an interesting press box because it's walled off. We're on one side, he's on the other side, and there's a wall between us.
Maybe they put the wall up because they didn't want us to be next to them.
I don't think so, but it would be a nice gesture. Okay, the Centaurs are going to get it back.
What if they're getting food and we're not?
We ate enough. Did you have the food? We had a nice display earlier.
I got there a little late. A busy day for me, so I did eat it, and it was tasty.
Yeah, you have no excuses. The food's here. They feed the crew. LA36 does a nice job with that. All right, here we go.
They seem to always cater to your dietary preferences. We eat a lot of chicken.
We do eat a lot of chicken. It's healthy for you,
That's why I'd like to see more burgers and pizza.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you can't always have chicken for Shabbat. Sometimes it's okay to have pizza.
I can have chicken every night. I like salmon, too. Maybe we get the crew to get salmon.
No, I'm going to pass on the salmon.
Right, here's the kickoff.
They just onside kicked. And it didn't go 10 yards.
Well, I think that's an unusual call, but...
Inglewood with the onside kick and the recovery.
So they're going to say it's Inglewood football. It did go far enough.
Are they going to throw the ball?
No, they're not. I will say this. I think one of the reasons you do something like that, they're looking ahead to the playoffs. So you're going to look at things like this and execute and try to get some things established in case you need an onside kick.
So you think they just want to try their onside kick, and now they're going to take a knee?
Yeah, I think so. But I think you do that because you're working on things for next week. They know they're going to the playoffs, and we think it's going to be D3. Still could be D4, but I think it'll be D3.
They got all their starters in, so maybe they wanted them in for victory formation.
Number one there, number one in the hearts of the fans here at Englewood. 4 touchdowns tonight, and he threw the key pass that converted the first down, the throw to Mason Harvey that iced really the football game.
Well, if you're their opponent next week, you know Englewood's practiced the onside kick. So, all right, Coach James, I love this victory formation. Randy, good call on the onside kick. Seeing it will work for next week.
I think that's the only reason you would try that. Again, it's live action. It gives you an opportunity to do something you may have to do in a major game. That's when there's a kneel down for Mason Harvey.
Taking a knee.
Clock is running down.
Well, I don't think they're going to call a penalty.
Going to have another kneel down, and that should do it one more time. And again, Englewood is going to balance their books 5-5 overall. They had a winning record in the Bay League of 3-2, and again, shouting out Dwayne Harris, the lead official, after 41 years, his last high school game. He gets the game ball. I think he's got it right now. He's going to give it up. Dwayne, you should have kept the football. That's going to be our final score, 46-35 for Inglewood. It was not easy. Inglewood's penalties gave Culver City life. That quarterback, Nicholas Hong, was spectacular for the Centaurs, but not enough to overcome Andre Nicholson's 4 touchdowns and the brilliance of some of their outside speed on the flanks. We're going to come back. We'll step out for the time being. We'll come back and wrap it up. Inglewood wins over Culver City 46-35. We'll talk to you in a moment. Tonight's prep game of the week on LA36 is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. It's Red West Pizza. By Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. And by our good friends at SOS Water Heater, the water heater experts.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Well, you see a council session for Culver City, some consolation, hard-fought loss. You know, a team that plays in a tough league, the Bay League, and night in and night out, they're tested, and they fought hard tonight. They just ran up against a more talented Englewood team that made a few more plays, but certainly, Chuck Price, Culver City made it interesting.
The Bay League is a monster of a league. There's so many great football teams, but in this league, for schools like Culver City and Englewood and Palos Verdes and Lusinger, Miracosta, it's a battle every week. Jamal Wright, the coach at Culver, has built an incredible program. They don't have the physical size that these kids from Englewood have, yet they play them snap for snap, very, very tough. And that's the coaching part of it. But then you look at the other side of the field, and Englewood is growing into something special. They hit the ground running when Milvan got here, and you look at the highlights, and that first touchdown for Culver, the very good one to bring the score even in the first quarter.
Yeah, Haley Moore's a great player. Here's our star of the night, Nickerson, the first of 4 touchdowns. He was just splendid, and the Chucky doll came out on Halloween.
That's the play of the game because of the doll.
And another one for Andre Nickerson.
The Miles Smith highlight tape.
Yep, he was spectacular up front defensively for Englewood. Here was a miscue, and Miles Smith jumped all over that one.
Maybe co-players of the game, Miles and Chucky.
And the deep passing game, and here's where the athletes started to take over. They countered Culver City with the long ball, but not quite as effective. We saw the officials a lot tonight. They're on our highlight reel.
Pivotal calls on 4th and giving the ball back to Culver a few times in the 4th.
There's Moore making a play on defense. A lot of highlights tonight. There's another touchdown for Nickerson. Again, he had 4 of them. Hong stepping up and hitting Moore again. That was pretty. Boyd with a short touchdown, and that made it a 1-possession game. Culver City needed a defensive stop one more time, and they couldn't quite get it. That one closed it down. Inglewood was able to come back down the field and score again when Welch ran it in. And here is that Samaje run, keeping those legs churning and battling and taking it to the house. That's great work by Welch.
Yeah, an interesting ending to the game for sure. The touchdown, the onside kick, and then taking the knee, and a job well done by Inglewood.
Chuck, I'll see you in the playoffs. We should have a game for everyone next Friday night. Could be Thursday, but probably Friday. But for now, it's the Sentinels over the Centaurs, 46-35. Inglewood bettering Culver City. For Chuck Price and our entire LA36 production crew, my name is Randy Rosenblum. So long from Inglewood. Enjoy Halloween. I think it's probably over by now, but enjoy anyway.